It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. King Buddha, it's never too late to awake you. King Buddha, it's never too late for mistake to. King Buddha, it's never too late to awake you. King Buddha, it's never too late for mistake to. King Buddha, shut up or shut up. King Buddha, shut up or shut up. Fuck.
Called Storytime with Chichi Meds. What's going on, guys? Chichi Meds, a story so crazy you won't think I made that shit up. However, all my stories are real and all of them come from inspiration that really actually happened. I remember back in the days when I was young, this was back in the AOL days and shit. So this is pretty old for you millennials and shit. But I remember that back in the days before Facebook, before Instagram, there was AOL. And AOL had a chat, which was the I Am chat. And a lot of people used to gravitate to the I Am chat. But there was also another chat for people who didn't have AOL. Because AOL was for people who had computers. So if you had a computer, in those days, phones weren't going online. Phones had LEDs, and we were still in the beeper stage where people would beep you when you would call them back. But getting back to it. So there was this thing called the New York Donut. And what people would do is we would call this place the New York Donut.
You've got the New York Donut. If you have some minutes to blow them with us. Experienced callers.
And it was like a chat, but on the phone only. And I remember that the person who put me on to this was my boy Arson Sterro, Jamie Diaz, rest in peace. Died very young on his birthday. And my man Jamie had put me on to this. And I ain't gonna lie, it was pretty successful for me. I even met a girl who I dated for 5 years. I had a great relationship with her. But during the process of the chat line, you know, they would have like chat line parties where, you know, it was the same thing as a handle name. Like you wouldn't go as your real name. Like when you would get on the chat, it would be like you would leave a message, like a 5-10 second message, and then people would listen to it. And based on the message, they would respond to it, or they would leave, you know, like, hey, hit me back, you know? So it would be a voicemail where people would leave an intro. So when people would call mine, they would hear my name, which was Manny Machete, aka Orgasm, aka Juan Puñalá. So that's where the Manny Machete name comes from. It's actually my name from the chat line in
here. If you're in a room and you want to go private with someone, there are two ways to do it.
So
one is
I used to get on these chats, and then one day they were having a chat line party, and me, my friends, my brother, my cousin, we were all into this trend of being on this chat. So they kind of knew us. We were pretty popular in there, and someone invited us to a party, and there was me, my brother, my cousin, who would go under the name of Microwave. He showed up in 30 seconds. My brother's handle name, his screen name was My Dick in Your Mouth Traga. And then we had my boy Steph, who was Dime Piece. And I remember that we were all going to this chat party together. And we brought my boy Suave too. I remember we all jumped in the cab. We called Luigi, who was a cab driver at the time. So we all chilling on the block. We popping Henny bottles. We smoking up. And we decide, let's go to this chat line party because we don't know, it might be lit. So we all decide to go to the chat line party. So when we all jump in the cab, we say, let's go with Luigi, who was a cab driver for Union at the time. And he's like, yeah, I'll take you guys. And we're like, bet, please take us. Because we don't know, you know, what kind of party we're getting involved in. So we get there. And I remember that the first thing that happened was when we get out the cab, we bump into some girls and they're like, oh, come inside, yada, yada, yada. But before we get out the cab, we tell Luigi, you know, we're going to call you direct. We're not going to call the base because we don't know nobody at this party. It's only us. And we just coming because it's a chatline party, but we don't know what the vibes are. So we jump at the opportunity to go to the party. We tell Luigi. Luigi takes us. We leave the instructions that we're going to call you if anything. And the minute we get out the cab, some girl comes up to us and she's like, oh, what's your name? And I'm like, I'm Orgasm. And then my brother introduces himself. He's my dick in your mouth. My cousin introduces himself, Microwave. He shit up in 30 seconds. And my boy Dying Peace. And then some dude comes out of nowhere as we're walking into the party. And he comes and says what's up to me. But I don't know the guy. And when he's giving me pound, he's like, yo, what up, Bloody Rex? So I don't know who he is. But I thought maybe he thought I was Bloody Rex. And I thought maybe Bloody Rex was a cool nigga at this party. So I'm like, what up? And I said, what's up to him? I think that confirmed to him and whoever he was with that I was Bloody Rex. But I'm not Bloody Rex because I don't even know who Bloody Rex was or is to this day. But what I did learn that day was you never assume someone else's identity because you never know the beef that person has. I did not anticipate any of this crazy shit, but as we're walking into the party and we're about to turn up, a girl pulls me to the side and she's like, yo, you know that dude thinks that you're Bloody Rex. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but what's the big deal? And she said, oh, the big deal is that he got beef with Bloody Rex. So he thinks you're Bloody Rex, so he's gonna pop on you. I'm like, word? She's telling me that she told him, she tried to correct him, like, no, that's not Bloody Rex, that's a guy named Orgasm. AKA Money Machete. But the guy wasn't hearing that. So whatever, we stay in the party, we drinking, we smoking, and then all of a sudden, that same girl comes back to me. And she's like, yo, you gotta leave this party ASAP because that nigga that thinks you're Bloody Rex is looking for you. And he is looking staticky. So, me and my buzzin' and my brother and my boy, we all decide, you know, let's get the fuck out this party. We don't know anybody to begin with. And these bitches ain't worth it. It was a bunch of fat bitches. Not that I got nothing against fat bitches. But, you know, there was a bunch of chicks that weren't my preference. I don't know if I should say it like they were ugly, but they weren't my preference. It wasn't what I went there to see. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them were in my taste. So we like, fuck, it's a dub. We leaving. So when we get outside, guess who's fucking waiting for me outside? When I get outside, the fucking guy's standing outside and he has a car parked, right? Like double parked. He comes up to me, he gives me pound, and then he puts his hand around my neck and starts walking with me. Like he's holding me, like you know, his arm around my neck. And he starts walking with me. And he's like, yo, come over here. And I could only see my brother and my cousin looking at me like, yo, where the fuck are you going? And I'm walking with the guy because I'm just like going with the flow. I don't know where he's taking me, but I think, you know, I'm not feeling a bad vibe, but it is a bad vibe. And he's walking with me and we get like 3 steps before the chick pulls me away from the dude and then walks me over to my brothers and says, yo, didn't I tell you that he thinks you're Bloody Rex? And the dude looks at her like, yo, and then she's like, no, hold on, I gotta tell him something. And we walk away from him. And as we're walking away from him, he's like, yo, but come here, I gotta show you something. And I'm like, yeah, hold up. And he said, yo, but come here, let me show you something. And she runs in the apartment, and all of a sudden, I see the guy just walk towards his car, pop the trunk open, and me, my brother, my cousin, we just start running. We didn't even wait for an invitation to run. We just start fucking running. And when we start running, I swear, we didn't even hit three leaps. I didn't even boop, boop, boop. I wasn't even out yet. I was like, boop, boop, boop. And when I hit the third boop, that's when all I hear is, boom, 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 shots being fired. And I'm like, holy shit. So we all look at each other and we start running. We're running. Shit is getting crazy. We're like, we got to get the fuck out of here. So we're running. And you're just hearing the shots. Last shot, bang, 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 bang. And we cut through a park because we felt running on the street was only going to get a shot. So we cut through a park and we start calling Luigi. I remember in those days we had the Omni points. And we used the Omni point. I remember that was when Sprint was actually OmniPoint was actually voice stream. It's crazy. So whatever. So we calling him and he's like, yo, I'm still in the area. We're like, yo, hurry up. We give him the address and we just keep running blocks. We like anticipating the next block and then giving it to him. We meet up with him and we leave. Now, I didn't think it was as crazy as it was, but I almost got shot that night. You understand? And it was all because the guy thought that I was some guy named Bloody Rex. The craziest shit about it all is that when I saw the Junior story on True Crime Stories, and that brought me back to when I was 21 and that shit happened to me, or 20 years old, and that shit happened to me where the guy was like, yo, he thought I was Bloody Rex, and we even got shot at. And if it wasn't for Luigi, we probably would have died. And if it wasn't for that chick, probably would have died. And if it wasn't for my stupid ass saying what's up to people, I probably would have died. So, moral of the story is, people, if you don't know somebody, don't give them a pound. If somebody thinks that they know you from somewhere, don't acknowledge him. I don't give a fuck if you think you might know him. I don't care if you think it's rude to ignore a person who confuses you with somebody else, or I don't care if you think it's rude that you don't clarify that you aren't that person. But if a person confuses you with someone else, then you should just avoid that person totally, because if you didn't recognize you to say hi or rekindle something, he recognized you because he definitely wanted to kill you. So the guy that saw me thought I was some guy named Bloody Rex, and he tried to murder me. Had I not escaped, I would have died, and people would have just mourned me, just like Junior, for being murdered for something that had nothing to do with me, and people would have thought I was gang related or some shit that I would have provoked, when it was all a case of mistaken identity. There's another story time I'm going to tell you guys about the time that I got jumped by 3 people that thought I was someone else, and I was just buying a bag of weed. So you already know, Chichi Meds from the BX. Story time with Chichi Meds. And stay tuned on this podcast. Share this. Broadcast it. Drop a comment. Follow me. And you already know, subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Hit the bell notification if you're watching this on YouTube. And follow me on Instagram at ChichiMeds. That's ChichiMedz. Look at that shit. I don't even know how to spell my own fucking name. So you already know, Chichi Meds from the BX. And welcome to my new podcast, Story Time with Chichi Meds.
It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. King Buddha, it's never too late to awake you. King Buddha, it's never too late for mistake to. King Buddha, it's never too late to awake you. King Buddha, it's never too late for mistake to. King Buddha, stop up or shut up. King Buddha, stop up or shut up. Fuck.
Trapmore gang, there's been a big question that's been on my mind, and it might have been on yours too. Who is running Epstein's Island now? Okay, he had this creepy island. They're talking about all kinds of A-minors being on the island, celebrities, politicians, the who's who of the most powerful people on the world were apparently going to this island that he had in the British Virgin Islands, awful name by the way, and freaking off with him. He's now dead, all right? Jeffrey Epstein is now runts, all right? We're smoking Jeffrey Epstein pack every day, of course, but a lot of questions have remained. Who's still running this island? Who owns this island? Now, we did talk in a previous video where I broke down and basically exposed Jeffrey Epstein's last girlfriend, okay, and how she was basically inheriting millions of dollars, you know, land from him, property. So this is an article. Basically, he wanted to leave the PDF island to his girlfriend, okay, and basically Karina Shuliak, who I exposed in a previous video, from what I understand, she may well have inherited the island, but the island was actually sold, okay? This basically was a little news report on his island being flipped, right? Is this, I feel like this isn't going to be about what I think it is. But basically, okay, his private US Virgin Islands location was up for sale, okay? Asking price 125 million, according to two sources. The executors of the estate basically listed the two private Caribbean islands that he owned off the coast of St. Thomas in the US Virgin Islands. An attorney for the estate told ABC News. He purchased the private island in 1998 for only $8 million, and it was being sold for 125 million. Can we just stop these creeps making this much money? It's ridiculous. Is there no way to stop these awful, despicable, deplorable scumbags from just running it up more than everybody else? I mean, 8 million? Are you having a laugh? Anyway, he established his permanent residence there in 2010, also a tax haven, around the time he was released from his first jail sentence in Palm Beach, Florida. He liked to refer to the estate there, to his estate there as Little St. Jeff's, according to testimony that emerged during the criminal trial of Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, he later acquired ownership of a larger neighboring island, Great St. James, and was in the process of building a new estate there at the time of his 2019 arrest, but unfortunately couldn't finish that because he got turned in to cookies, okay? So the islands are currently encumbered by criminal activity liens placed by Denise George, the U.S. Virgin Islands Attorney General, who in early 2020 filed a civil racketeering suit against the estate, and the suit alleged that Epstein created a network of shell companies, charitable organizations, and individuals that participated in and conspired with him in a decades-long pattern of criminal activity tied to alleged trafficking of minor girls and young women. Epstein, through and in association with defendants, trafficked, R-worded, essayed, and held captive underage girls and young women at his properties in the Virgin Islands. What a scumbag, okay? But it was beautiful. It was a beautiful island, but it was horrendously ugly what happened there. The news reported earlier this month that lawyers for Epstein's estate were in settlement talks with the U.S. Virgin Islands government, and one estate attorney described the two sides as being extraordinarily close to reaching a negotiated resolution. A lawyer for the estate, Daniel Weiner, all right, you definitely got to be a wiener to be working on Epstein's estate, confirmed to ABC News that the properties were listed for sale and the proceeds of any sale would be used by the estate for the resolution of any outstanding lawsuits and the regular costs of the estate's operations, and will be subject to potential claims by tax authorities, creditors, and other parties. The proceeds will be held in liened accounts, Weiner said, pending the resolution of the government's lawsuit. The estate previously unloaded two of Epstein's other properties, his Palm Beach Island seaside home and his Upper East Side Manhattan townhouse. Two other properties, Zorro Ranch in New Mexico and Avenue Foch apartment in Paris, are also for sale. The marketing of the islands is being handled by New York firms The Modeling Group and Bespoke Real Estate in partnership with U.S. Virgin Islands-based Christie's International Real Estate. Bread, I would have bought the island, right? We would have put it right and we would have had nothing but good, clean, honest fun on there. Now, the islands did apparently sell. Okay, this says billionaire investor buys Epstein's private islands for 60 million. So they ended up having to take half of what they wanted, 125 million down to 60 million. Still pretty good profit from 8 million, but you can't enjoy it when you are living in a spliff. Okay, so it said Stephen Deckhoff, the founder of Black Diamond Capital Management, said he wanted to build a 25-room resort on the islands once owned by the disgraced financier and registered offender Epstein. Now, I feel like the best use of this island would be to actually preserve some of the things on there and create sort of like a museum of the most depraved individual not to ever live, because there's been worse people than him, unfortunately. But it basically, you can see the properties on the coast. The billionaire investor has paid $60 million to buy his island residences off the coast of St. Thomas. Okay, the investor paid 50% less than the listing price, and a portion of the sales will go to a $105 million settlement that Mr. Epstein's estate reached last year with the government of the U.S. territory in the Caribbean. Mr. Dekoff, the founder of Black Diamond Capital Management, investment firm with $9 billion under management, so this is chump change to him, really. Okay, they've got offices in Stamford, Connecticut, London, Mumbai, and St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. He acquired the islands through an investment vehicle called SD Investments. I wonder what SD stands for. Scumbag devolution. I don't know. Anyway, it says Mr. Dekoff, okay, in a news release, said he planned to build a 25-room resort. I want to hear more. I want to hear more. What are you going to do with it? One of the islands, Little St. James, where Mr. Epstein lived for the better part of 2 decades and became tarnished by allegations that it had been a place where he essayed teenage girls. The other island, Great St. James, is less developed. The release didn't specify which island that he was intending to build his resort, and at the time of Epstein's death, his estate was valued at around $600 million. When the estate did reach that civil settlement with the Virgin Islands government, the assets had fallen in worth to about $159 million, and in the years since his death, the estate paid out more than $160 million to 125 victims of his essay that had spanned decades. Many of the victims were young girls. So this is basically just a recap of what we already knew. It said an affiliated entity of Black Diamond is listed as a beneficiary of a lucrative tax incentive that's intended to spur economic development in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The tax incentive has been granted to dozens of businesses that operate in the territory, and 2 of Epstein's companies, when they were in operation, were beneficiaries of similar tax incentives from the Virgin Islands. So these guys all stick together, all right? They get their tax... They get their little tax breaks, their little finesses, okay, and good for them. All right, they get what they need. Anyway, okay. Essentially, there's been a lot of investigation as far as actually who is running things, who's occupying the island, what is going on there, and there's been some pretty interesting videos and pieces of media that basically just break down the history of actually what's going on the island, people that have actually gone there recently, and what's actually transpiring as this island is under new ownership. Now, basically, there was a video by the YouTuber Rotten Mango, okay, shout out to her, where she basically gave a detailed description of the island's atmosphere and reputation based on, people that have been
Little St. James, that's Epstein's island, but the locals all call it Pedophile Island. It's a 70-acre island.
See, the locals call it PDF Island, all right? Why did this take so long to get broken down? It's ridiculous.
Island in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and it makes Jeffrey Epstein one of the very, very small group of incredibly wealthy people that own private islands. Epstein bought Little St. James for about $15 million. Besides the main house, the island has 3 guest cottages, a caretaker, and a groundkeeper's cottage, a private water filtration system utility building, a helipad, a dock, multiple swimming pools, tennis court, an enclosed lagoon, golf carts to take guests from place to place, a staff of 70 to cater to every guest's needs. But the most interesting building is a square box building on the isolated part of the island. Imagine a square, but it's blue and white stripes. It's got a gold dome at the top with 2 gold statues. It was on the most isolated part of the island. There are rumors circulating that he conducted sacrifices in there. That's where the children were taken for essay or to be killed.
If you get stuck on the melody, or if you just feel like you can't get
That is
in there. That's where the children were taken for SA or to be killed.
That is absolutely wild. Okay. Now, interestingly enough, okay, there's been disturbing footage captured of some of the interiors on the island. And this is apparently from the Epstein files of him. This is a kind of a video that was going viral of him apparently chasing someone underage around I think this was a kitchen on the island. On a kitchen island on the island. Okay, it's ironic. But this is kind of disturbing footage. This is the type of thing that was going around. Him chasing women around his little St. James Island home. So this is not the man you want chasing you, and this is not the island you want to be getting chased around. Okay, it is pretty crazy. But basically, okay, as time went on, all right, around the time of Epstein's high-profile arrest and death, funnily enough, okay, a drone pilot would make their way to the island and actually capture footage of federal authorities collecting evidence on the island. And this has been very controversial. And ever since Epstein has been turned into cookies, he has been the subject of various snoopers that have gone to the island to try and get a deep dive and dig into what's going on
It's
there.
late afternoon in the Caribbean, and a drone is flying towards a small island. The drone approaches a white house with a blue roof. It starts looking for a spot to peep inside. Why was the drone spying on this house? Well, it belonged to financier Jeffrey Epstein, who had died in a jail cell just 2 days before.
Disgraced American financier Jeffrey Epstein has been found dead in his prison cell.
Inside the house, the drone camera finds men and women wearing shirts that read FBI and NYPD. They are raiding the place. Boxing up evidence. But after a minute or two, the agents inside start covering the window up with cardboard sheets to stop the drone from peeping inside. Unperturbed, the drone sweeps up and over the house to the nearby jetty, where the agents and police officers are preparing to load evidence onto a boat. In Epstein's residences, they found lots of CCTV cameras all over the place.
Epstein used to record the behaviours that went on his island, and therefore there probably are tapes around.
The evidence in the boxes collected that day from the island and in similar raids at Epstein's mainland properties form what is now known as
the full and complete Epstein files.
We're still waiting to see the full and complete Epstein files, and in the absence of information, conspiracy theories sweep in to fill in the gaps.
It's unbelievable. The guy killed himself, and now nobody's going to know.
Even the person who flew the drone over Epstein's island got caught up in this. People online started speculating that the fugitive founder of McAfee antivirus software was the drone's pilot. He denied it and then died by apparent suicide in a Spanish prison in 2021.
Stop it. He denied it and then he died of... Oh, please stop.
Which will certainly help deal with any conspiracy theories.
Oopsie, another one bites the dust. Okay, so the public would finally get a glimpse of the interior of the property in 2025. Okay, this basically included dental rooms, and we've talked a lot about dentistry being a part of what was going on there. So this was apparently released by the Democrats. I guess you got to specify that. And this is a different subreddit. This is r/Jeffrey Epstein. I need to join this. Rational Epstein community. All right. Civil, intelligent, evidence-driven discussion. None of the crazy stuff that you're going to be seeing here. But anyway, this says the Democrats actually released the footage, these images of Epstein's island home. What does this say? Plants, truth, appear, music, deception, power. Let's say intellectual, some physics, maybe finance, political, something in face, time, just the scrawlings of a madman. Beautiful room. I guess this is like a little classroom. He probably would do a little bit of teaching here when he pretends to know about finance, even though he seemed like a pretty amateur financial operator. This is some kind of shower, sauna type room. This is quite interesting. I bet a lot of nasty stuff went on there. They're saying no trespassing. Trespassers will be prosecuted. Fortunately, some brave souls did continue to trespass there and basically do their thing. That's his phone. It's got instant speed dial to New York office, Darren's cell, Rich's office, Mike's cell, blank cell, Patrick's cell, blank office, Larry's cell. And then he's got all of his other lines there. Very interesting. I wonder who the redacted names are. Now, this is kind of like, I guess, around like a pool area. He has this sort of like light blue roof motif going on. And it was look, I'm not saying it was good what went down there, but it was a beautiful island. All right. Dentistry room. We've seen this before. His girlfriend was a dentist. There's people that are making speculations that if Teefs was getting removed, all sorts of things, all right? This is one of the bedrooms. Now, what's interesting is obviously we heard a minute ago there were loads of cameras all over here, and there's obviously going to be hella nefarious, creepy stuff that was filmed, and that definitely hasn't appeared in the Epstein files. We've got these files heavily redacted. We're seeing Epstein chase people around the kitchen, but we're not seeing anyone freaking off in hidden camera footage recorded in the rooms. I understand why, but we definitely have not got the complete Epstein files, that's for sure. You know, more rooms. I mean, I'm a big fan of bathtubs. That is a beautiful looking bathtub. Unfortunately, this bathtub probably had bodies on it. But, you know, nice little four-poster bed. I mean, the design and the decor was pretty exquisite. People saying all of his properties look the same, somehow both tacky and sterile. If you showed me pics of his properties but didn't tell me whose they were, I'd be creeped out immediately. Also, is that a dentist office? Maybe an esthetician's office? Either way, what the F?
I tried a ton of AI work.
Okay, saying, ayo, what the F? It's super creepy, right? So there's a very small bit of information has come to light with all these photos, letters, and emails that Epstein couldn't spell for shit. He was a whiz at math. Doesn't need to be a good writer, it seems. The lack of windows is horrifying. I want to know whose faces are on the wall around the barbershop chair. That's a dentist chair. Looks like some eyes wide shut Squid Game shit. Rich douchebags always have the worst taste in decor. People confused about the dentist chair. Now we know, though. Now we know. I want to see the blacked out names on the phone. And why is Patrick not blacked out? All right. I've always wondered. I thought there was probably wealthy donors for both Republicans and Democrats who visited the islands. Redacting the names on the phone makes me think, uh-oh, not trying to have problems with the big man. Okay. All right. I'm scared. Maybe one day. All right. Maybe one day we'll get into it. But anyway, now, interestingly enough, all right, I've already told you about the properties share, you know, exchanging hands and things like that. And, you know, if you want to know more about his girlfriend that allegedly briefly inherited the island before it got sold, you can go and watch the video that I did on that. But what's interesting is that in August of 2025, Inside Edition actually visited the island and showcased that there were workers still there. But interestingly enough, there was no visible work on the apparent resort that billionaire was going to build. No progress, no visible anything was going on. What's going on with the island? Look at this.
This boat captain, Guy Dom, ferried Epstein to and from the island.
There was a time I took Jeffrey Epstein's party of 4 out here to the island, and it's basically a woman about his age and a couple of girls that looked like they were 13, 14, maybe 15 years old, sisters, and I dropped them off. Didn't think anything of it.
Guy Dom says at the time he assumed that the passengers were Epstein's wife and kids. It wasn't until later that he learned Epstein didn't have a family.
It dawned on me, if those aren't his kids, maybe those were victims.
He gave us a tour of the island, which is just a 10-minute boat ride from St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands.
Up on the hill here, we see Jeffrey Epstein's bedroom. Part of the bedroom has a desk in it so he could do work in there.
He shared this video with us he took inside of Epstein's bedroom. There's his desk and bed. And look at this. For some reason, he even had an office meant for an eye doctor. The island is now owned by a billionaire investor who bought it 2 years ago for $60 million. He reportedly plans to turn it into a luxury 25-room resort, which explains the presence of all those workers. A temple that Epstein built at the top of the island has been boarded up and painted over. When Inside Edition producer Will Evans tried to speak to the workers, they didn't have anything to say.
We're just curious what's going on with the island. Are you guys doing renovations, upkeep? What's going on?
This patrol boat started tailing us.
They started following us when we left, and they really don't seem to want us around.
Epstein Island, a place that this boat captain would rather forget.
So you can't go there without being tailed, without being followed, and several other YouTubers have snuck their way onto the island, and respect to them, okay? Just at the start of this year, on January the 30th, 2026, the YouTuber Nico Grigg attempted to get near the island, and they actually captured a couple of people that were apparently living there in the video. Look at this.
Things happened on that island. So at this point, we actually ended up changing our plan. JC and Bragan were distracting our instructor, Eric, so Matt and I decided to just start driving towards Epstein Island, even though Eric told us not to go anywhere near it. But as we were getting closer to Epstein Island, I seen Eric in the corner of my eye speeding towards Matt, and he stopped us.
We are so close. Oh my god, there's a girl looking at me. What the f am I looking at, bro? Who are these people, bro? What do you know? Oh, they're calling the cops. That lady's still looking, bro. She's taking pictures of us. I gotta say cheese. Oh, GC.
So look, you can't get close to the island without getting paparazzi'd, basically. So he apparently received a message saying, "Hello, I work at Little St. James. We saw you today. If you try and come on, we will have you arrested and detained." Now, interestingly enough, there's another brave soul, Tyler Oliveira, okay, legendary YouTuber, controversial YouTuber. We won't get into that today. He truly did sneak onto Jeffrey Epstein's island, and he actually ran up on the creepy temple. Okay, real deal spill. He actually did this. This one's crazy. Okay. Oh, look at that. No, I think my YouTube's malfunctioning today.
That's me running towards the satanic temple of the evil billionaire Jeffrey Epstein on his private island swarming with security.
Oh my god, we're being detected. Shoot me if you dare! What are you hiding up?
He did real deal spill get up there, okay? He actually climbed onto the island. He walked right up there, okay? And he said that he could see people. He got chased by security. Look at this.
Fucking turn. I made it to the beach.
He's lucky, man. If he wasn't careful, he could have been meeting Jeffrey Epstein, if you know what I mean.
Beach undetected, and I was headed towards the temple. Now, with this temple as the source of the signal interference, it was only logical that there might be something hiding there waiting for me to find. And keep in mind, this is a rough map of the island, and right now I'm here, and this is where I'm headed, forcing me to essentially sneak up a cliff to hopefully avoid security. Don't get arrested. Jesus Christ.
So there was security on the island. He did eventually make his way up there, and look at this.
A literal mountain to Epstein's temple, still somehow undetected.
He ran up in there. Respect.
Undetected thus far still. You think they'd buy security cameras or something?
With only the open road standing between me and the temple, it was time to go for it.
We made it to the temple. We made it to the temple. Undetected thus far. This is the temple where crazy stuff went down. Look at this. Look at this. Blocked off by steel. Blocked off by wood. Tasha, over there.
Come on, Tyler.
God, if you're alive, protect me. Came through there. Weaved my way all the way up to here. Look at this. There's a giant cliff here, by the way. Giant cliff, and then everything's boarded off. The entire place looks to be repainted. It used to be blue and yellow. A ladder right here, almost as if they just repainted the place. And this is literally pure white now. Someone took a dump right there. This is the place where evil things went down. In this temple right here, there used to be a giant sun compass that was removed apparently. There's a bonfire right here. Maybe where they burned people alive or not. I've gotten up here successfully, undetected. There's like a speaker right there. But beyond that, seems to be low-level security right now. Okay, there's a sailboat coming in right there. That's not what we want to see. Right now, it's a race against time. Hopefully I don't go to jail. horrid things went down here. Look at all these benches, very out of place benches, right? You have benches right here, bench right there, bench right there, bench right there. Look at that, this makes no sense. I'm gonna go back down, see if we can examine the estate. This time I might have to go blitzkrieg. Now I just need to run. My pants are nearly falling off. Looks like an unfinished construction pathway. Let's see what's in.
Now he ends up getting clocked by the security and he has to really do the dash. All right, he has to actually get to it.
I'm running. I'm running. I'm running. It's not fast enough. I'll put it. Fast boy.
As I ran away from security, I saw this.
Oh no. They got me. I need to run. I need to run.
Now he did make it off the island, okay? You don't need to see him just getting sweaty running around, all right? But he did literally make it off the island, jumps into the sea.
To jump.
I'm going down. You can't. He's not coming down. Going into the water. Watch me speak me up. Okay, get into the water. Security. Get the apprehend me. I'm swimming as fast as I can. Wait for Pasha to pick me up. Come on, Pasha.
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44. Guys, Nina just built an app.
So clearly there's goons, clearly there's security on the island. Now what's really interesting, okay, is apparently, all right, when YouTubers and other people have been going to the island over the years, all right, even though the island has allegedly been sold, there's an unverified photo that's making the rounds where somebody actually claims that they have taken a photograph of Epstein's surviving girlfriend, Karina, all right, apparently on the island. This is a text that's going around. It's unverified, but it says, Karina, hope my message finds you well. It's been so long. Dear Karina, how are you you are so gorgeous. How's the weather on the island? All right, that would be creepy as hell. All right, I'm not going to lie. I don't know if that looks quite like her, but she's probably aged a bit and she's probably been stressed out with everything going on. But there's been a lot of discussion, especially on Reddit, about who's still occupying the island. This particular photo, okay, it says, who are the people currently on the island? It says, and why does no one seem to care? People who have tried to sneak in obviously have seen the security. That's expected, but some videos also capture a female casually walking in a bathrobe. You don't tell me that's a female security guard be just changing out like that in the mansion. Besides, who's paying for security on the island? Is it US government or who? There seems to be no presence of federal agents, just a private security company. People saying the current owner, specifically his daughter, okay, they're saying I heard they were going to convert into an adult retreat, which is odd considering it's a past. What's old is new again. But they're saying maybe that's the daughter of the guy that bought it. He was saying, I don't understand why it was able to be bought and sold so quickly when so much happened on that island. It really shows the government's complicity. The same with Epstein's ranch that wasn't raided. It was all sold quickly. Okay. Now, it's interesting. I would have thought the government would have seized these assets, held onto them for evidence and investigation. What's more, what about Great St. James? He owned that island. It's much bigger and much harder to reach than St. James. He destroyed several hundred years of architectural buildings. Nobody's gotten access. Now, that's the other island that apparently, I think they were both sold together, funnily enough, and I don't think that island was developed, so I don't know if that one's really a smoking gun. It says, the people who posted this initially, the ones who snuck on the island, give me such a bad feeling. YouTube accents. I do think it's a bit of a gimmick just for views. However, any publicity on Epstein is good publicity to wake up the world. The whole island needs to be dug up and the waters around it investigated too. It's effed up that someone could just be casually living on one of the most prolific crime scenes in history, especially with that floor opening that goes straight to the ocean. My bad. So the history of the island is interesting. Whenever I comment about it, the engagement analytics tank. That's fascinating. Okay, it says, why is this island allowed to be sold? It's literally evidence in a trafficking ring and also a murder case. So yeah, all right, you get the gist. All right, look, the island is still going. It's still popping. There's still people there. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, should I pull up to the island? I don't know if I'm brave enough to do that, to be completely honest with you guys. I don't know if I've got the stones to pull up to the island, but shout out to the YouTubers that did. I know people find YouTubers annoying like that. But
jet skis while being goofy tourist vloggers asking if there were any nearby islands we should take a look at while we toured the ocean.
Should we go through Little James and Big James or those no-nos?
No, don't go through there.
They'll shoot us.
Don't go through there.
Somebody's island.
Oh,
it's somebody's island.
Yeah.
By the government?
No, private.
What would happen? Not that we would ever do that.
I don't know, but you don't want to find out?
Easy.
You don't want to find out. Yeah, I bet.
You watch Netflix a lot, right?
No.
Good for you.
Okay, all right.
Good for you.
Captain Isaac, we're out. Okay, we're gonna go straight there and then right. I'm on the jet ski. We have this for like 5 hours. We need to do this quick before we get detected by authorities and our jet ski guys because they're super sussed out by me. We're headed to Epstein's Island. What could go wrong?
And after 15 minutes...
Bro, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of whenever I would get on like a Warcraft beta and I would try to go out of bounds. I would try to go to like GM. It's like he's trying to go to GM Island.
minutes of driving this jet ski like Tom Cruise,
You know?
I had made it to Epstein Island, Little James.
That's where all the game masters are.
I don't know who's there, what security measures they're taking. There's probably government watching, and there might be personal security on the island.
As I got
going on
closer to the
adventure,
island,
yeah.
it was clear I wasn't alone.
Okay, we have made it to the island.
Oh
Look at that
my
sign.
God.
Private property, no trespassing.
He's about
and
to
there
trespass.
is Epstein Island. Little
Honestly, like, we gotta admit, whenever his password was #1 island, I gotta believe him.
Of the evil billionaire Jeffrey Epstein on his private island swarming with security.
Oh my God, we've been detected. Shoot me if you dare! What are you hiding, Epstein? Made it to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Epstein, where are you?
So the first part of this scheme was to get our hands on 2 jet skis while being goofy tourist vloggers asking if there were any nearby islands we should take a look at while we toured the ocean.
Should we go through Little James and Big James, or those no-nos?
No, don't go through there.
They'll shoot us. What will happen?
Somebody's island.
Oh, it's privately owned.
Yeah.
By the government?
No, private.
What would happen? Not that we would ever do that.
I don't know, but you don't want to find out?
Easy. We're good then.
You watch Netflix a lot, right?
No.
Good for you.
Okay, all right. Captain Isaac, we're out. Okay, we're gonna go straight there and then right. I'm on the jet ski. We have this for like 5 hours. We need to do this quick before we get detected by authorities and our jet ski guys, because they're super sussed out by me. We're headed to Epstein's Island. What could go wrong?
And after 15 minutes of driving this jet ski like Tom Cruise, I had made it to Epstein Island, Little James.
We made it. You can see the temple. I don't know who's there, what security measures they're taking. There's probably government watching, and there might be personal security on the island.
And as I got closer to the island, it was clear I wasn't alone.
Okay, we have made it to the island. Look at that sign. Private property, no trespassing. And there is Epstein Island, Little James. There's a boat on the island right now. The question is, who could it be and why? There's literally someone right there on the island. Okay, we have more people. Look, it's a whole operation out here. Look at this. A golf cart, people that work here. We have a dog. Who is this man? Okay, we have another person, bigger woman and her dog. Probably security or maintenance, but hired by who? A new owner? The government? I'm not sure.
And it turns out Epstein's Island is for sale by Epstein's estate for over $125 million. But why is there still so much security on the island if he's dead? And what are the owners of Epstein's Island still hiding?
Are they headed in my direction? This is a little bit eerie. We have a giant woman, and now they are leaving. We're gonna have to beach somewhere else. We're gonna have to do this quick. We need to get in and out, or we're gonna get shot, I'm convinced. Boss is gonna whip out the drone, see how many people are on the island itself. I've already seen 4 people launch the drone. Go, my child, find the truth, inspect the area.
Now, while at first it seems like a normal island a billionaire might abandon, once the drone flies in a little closer, you begin to notice these carts driving across the island. But who are they and what are they protecting? And then, once the drone started getting closer to the temple, this weird white building on the highest point of the island where people believe it was used for evil satanic rituals, our drone began to experience unexplainable signal interference.
RF signal interference. We lost it, so we've lost the drone. They've interfered with the drone. We don't have control.
Now, it's important to note that in the last known footage of this temple, the temple was painted in this blue gold pattern and there's a giant sundial adjacent to it. This now means that the sundial was recently removed and the temple was completely repainted white. But the question is, what are they covering up? And then I saw this.
See a guy building right there. Look, literally right there. Look, look, look. Yep, there is another golf cart coming this way. Oh, it's going to get the drone. Okay, don't get caught, Pasha. There he is. There he is. Who is this man? Who is this man right here? We're going to storm the beach like Normandy right now, get on the island, and hopefully not get shot or apprehended.
After barely pulling the drone back in, after losing signal, and confirming this place was swarming with what we believe to be armed security, it was time to storm the beach like Normandy.
There's the temple!
And that was exactly where I was headed.
Mysterious stairway, almost like it's inviting us to enter. Okay, we have another no trespassing sign right there. No trespassing sign right there.
And after a full peripheral scope of the island, it was now time to infiltrate.
All right, go. Pray for me. Let's get on shore. Let's get on shore. Okay, I'm on the island. The temple's behind me. Go straight for the temple. There's the arches right there. See what I see?
turn.
I had made it to the beach undetected, and I was headed towards the temple. Now, with this temple as the source of the signal interference, it was only logical that there might be something hiding there waiting for me to find. And keep in mind, this is a rough map of the island, and right now I'm here, and this is where I'm headed, forcing me to essentially sneak up a cliff to hopefully avoid security.
Don't get arrested. Jesus Christ. Using all the skills I learned from playing video games right now, I'm atop the hill. We have not been detected yet, which is surprising. There's the drone in the air. There's Tyler.
And my basic strategy here is to find something to hide behind, regain my breath, and then run as fast as I can, slowly making progress to the temple and avoiding security along the way.
Okay, my cardio is gassed. I'm gonna keep going on this road. Looks like it's built for go-karts. Let's keep going. We're going for it, baby. I think we've been detected. We've gotten to the side. I've not been detected yet. I see this. Looks like an unfinished home. We have that right there. I'm getting cooked out here in the sun to the temple. This thing's steep as a mother. Slowly but surely. Okay, we're going up. We're going up. Okay. There's the temple. I might just climb up the hill. Let's see if I can get it. Okay, let's do this. Once I go up there, I'm kind of screwed. I don't want to get shot. It should probably be loud.
And with my massive calves, I scaled up the side of a literal mountain to Epstein's temple, still somehow undetected.
Undetected thus far still. You think they'd buy security cameras or something?
With only the open road standing between me and the temple, it was time to go for it.
Okay, we made it to the temple. We made it to the temple. Undetected thus far. This is the temple where crazy stuff went down. Look at this. Look at this. Blocked off by steel. Blocked off by wood. Pasha, over there. Come on, Tyler. God, if you're alive, protect me. Came through there. Weaved my way all the way up to here. Look at this.
Has Kyrie texted you back?
I don't want to talk about
You need to talk.
There's a giant cliff here, by the way. Giant cliff, and then everything's boarded off. The entire place looks to be repainted. It used to be blue and yellow. A ladder right here. I'm running. I'm running. I'm running. I'm running. He's not fast enough on foot. Fast boy.
As I ran away from security, I saw this.
Oh no. They got me. I need to run. I need to run.
Now, security was right behind me, going full speed in my direction.
Oh no. You can't stop me.
I can't exactly understand what they're saying, but they're screaming at me the whole time.
Run! No, I'm good. We're good. We're good. I'm out of here. They're behind us. We made it down here. Once we get to the beaches, we're good. A brand new pool right here. We seeing this? Security behind me. They're not as fast as me though. Gotta keep going. Good training for this day. Security. Oh, he's coming.
As I began to run away, Pasha notices this, pulls the drone in, and begins zooming over on his jet ski to pick me up, right as I unknowingly approach a cliff.
Uh-oh.
And at this moment, it looked like I had no choice but to jump.
I'm going down. He can't see. He's not coming down. I'm going into the water. Pasha needs to pick me up. Okay, made it into the water. Security, you get to apprehend me. I'm swimming as fast as I can, waiting for Pasha to pick me up. Come on, Pasha. Shoot me if you dare! I'm in international waters! What are you hiding, Epstein? What are you hiding, Epstein? What are you hiding? Waiting on Pasha on the getaway. There's Pasha with the jet ski. There's my getaway jet ski. We're getting out of here. I escaped. All right, we're making out. Give me a tip. Give me a hand. All right, easy. They thought they could get me.
Grab the handles.
All right, go! We escaped with all the footage untouched. I breathe air. You suck.
But as we zoomed back and made our way to the airport, I saw this.
I think we're being followed by a Fed right now.
That's me running
We escaped with all the footage untouched.
the airport. I saw this.
I think we're being followed by a Fed right now.
It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. King Buddha, it's never too late to awake you. King Buddha, it's never too late for mistake to. King Buddha, it's never too late to awake you. King Buddha, it's never too late for mistake to. King Buddha, sab up or shut up. King Buddha, sab up or shut up. Fuck. It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. It's the cheap challenge. King Buddha, it's never too late to awake you. King Buddha, it's never too late for mistake to. King Buddha, it's never too late to awake you. King Buddha, it's never too late for mistake to. King Buddha, sab up or shut up. King Buddha, sab up or shut up. Fuck.
What it do, chat? Welcome to today's stream. It's your boy King Buddha, and welcome back. Today we got an early stream. Got a couple of streams to kick in. Got 3 of them exactly, to be honest with you, chat. And right now, I had to jump in, had to get it done because I've been getting these wild migraines, and they haven't been too helpful. Yesterday I couldn't even watch TV at all. I had to spend the whole day holding my face. So that being said, chat, we are here early today, just in case this migraine comes back to try to fuck me up and decommission me. So chat, we got a few episodes today. We have the Glorilla humiliates lazy begging sister. Chat, what we're going to watch is a reaction video. So this is a video by Hello Yasin. So if you guys don't follow him, go follow him. And chat, this is a follow-up video. We already touched on this video in the past few videos. If you go and check, we did talk about Glorilla's sister coming online and doing a whole bunch of crazy shit, which is, like I said, is not conducive to your family, 1, and 2. Like, I got famous family members. You never see me talk about how my famous family members didn't do, and that's all bullshit, chat. Listen, nobody, when you make it, you're not obligated to help everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucked up thing to say, but just because you made it, it doesn't mean everybody gets the incentive. You know, if you're R. Kelly, well, let's not use that guy. If you're Bad Bunny's cousin, that doesn't mean that you should be living in a fucking mansion with a Bentley. Like, that's Bad Bunny's money, not your money. You feel me? You're Kai Cenat's brother, cousin. That doesn't mean you need to be in a Bentley. You understand? So today we're gonna do the follow-up on Glorilla's sister. And without further ado, chat, I'll bring you this video. It is super crazy, super cringe. Because, like I said, you don't really expect family members to get all crazy like this. And she definitely did. You know what I'm saying? She definitely did. And it's just crazy talk to be on the internet talking about your parents and saying what your sister does and doesn't do. Because, first of all, it doesn't even matter what she does and doesn't do, because at the end of the day, she doesn't have to. Oh. Sorry, guys. Gotta pick up my partner right here in crime. My partner in crime, legendary. Yeah, I'm letting everybody know that you're late for the stream. And I ordered a new webcam, so we'll be able to have a lot more footage in. Now I got this, this is a Sony, what is it today? I'm finding all the sharp edges. Chat, I still feel like the remnants of the migraine. on the side of my face. So without holding you guys any longer, don't forget to smash the like button. If you like videos like this, stay tuned. We got 3 more episodes. I do have a follow-up on Tylil's girlfriend, the one that we covered earlier during the year, where she had made allegations towards Tylil that he had, raped her and a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So we got updates on that. We got updates on what else? We got some Epstein stuff. So guys, we got a couple of episodes for you. Stick around, grab your popcorn. This is your first episode. Then we're gonna log off and log back on with a new episode. So guys, let's start with the Glorilla episode, because this one is the most fascinating one, because I didn't think that people went out of their way to embarrass their family members that actually got out of the hood. Like if you fucking made it out the hood, man, your family should be happy. That's one less poor person. You want to end poverty, Chad, you gotta end it one person at a time, right? So to end poverty, my suggestion is you be the person who saves us. So you get out of the poverty zone, and then there's less poor people. You know what I'm saying? Including me. Like, I'm still in the poverty zone, Chad. Y'all guys see me streaming every day. You guys, it's for a reason. Because I don't like where I live. Because I don't like the life that I have. Because I know that I deserve better. So I push forward every day, even if it doesn't work. Even if it doesn't work, Chad. I'm here every day talking to you guys, upgrading my equipment, giving you the best sound, the best videos, the best quality. At the end of the day, the better the quality I give you, the better chances of me getting out the hood. Now, if I get out the hood, that's one less poor person, right? Then we're ending poverty. The best way to end poverty, Chad, is one person at a time. You can't get through the door unless it's one person at a time. You can't sit down one seat. Everybody sit down. It takes one person at a time. So, chat, welcome to episode 20. I do believe this is episode 25 of season 2. So, season 2 started January. If you guys want to catch season 1, it's on podcast. Just go to the Cheat Challenge Reacts season 1. It'll have every episode. We have special guests there. We have Bush. We have B-Rad. We also have EST, which we haven't had a collaboration with in a while. So we have a lot of dope collaborations there. So guys, go check out all the videos on season 1 of the Cheat Challenge Reacts, which is the season that truly crowned us, one of the shit talkers of YouTube. So thanks to you guys and everybody who has given us the platform to talk. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here we are, season 2, February. And guys, let's get ready. This is Glorilla's sister, which I think she's very marketable as a stud. She looks just like Glorilla. She could make the awesome stud double of Glorilla, which Glorilla mentions in this video somewhere. So guys, like I said, this is astronomical. Let's go.
Not only is her life ruined, but she ruined her own mother's life, who she was using as leverage to... What's poppin'?
Let's
Glorilla's
go.
sister, not only is her life ruined, but she ruined her own mother's life, who she was using as leverage to e-beg on this internet here. So I'm going to give you guys a quick refresher from the last video I did where this situation started, which was all from Glorilla's sister and her complaining and saying she didn't do anything for them or their mom or their dad.
Y'all made I'm talking about y'all favorite rapper. Y'all favorite rapper ain't shit, and I'm getting tired of it. Y'all made. Y'all talking about some she ain't obligated. How she ain't.
Look what it says on this post right here. It says, I really go lives. Her name is Scarface Woods on Facebook. So mind you, this is all happening on Facebook. I forgot I had a big audience there. So I gotta start streaming on Facebook again. So let's not forget Facebook, important. Matter of fact, I should be doing that right now. For the next episode, we gotta make sure we stream on Facebook. Because Facebook apparently has a big fucking following. Like, you're gonna see Glorilla have 140K live people. Okay, guys. So now she says, I'll really go live and expose your favorite rapper. Same mom, same dad, 10 siblings. Y'all think she this up right blank person when she really not ain't fucking with you since she got on and constantly getting acknowledgments for being her sister, and she ain't fuck with you at all. Glorilla Woods, call my bluff. It's been 4 years. Why the media haven't seen your sibling? Listen, my little sister blew up. I ain't even gonna tell you who she is. You probably already know who she is. My cousin blew up. You probably know who she is. Like, guys, the fact that your family blows up doesn't mean that you are entitled to anything. I'm here working my ass off. I have a famous sister and a famous cousin, famous uncles that make music, like, and I'm here grinding it. Chat. You don't see me throwing their names in nobody's faces. You guys don't see me mentioning them at all because I am my own individual. Okay? Now let's keep hearing. She's crazy though.
Obligated when she wants to sit here and all them interviews and talk about the struggles we've been through and then reach back and help none of us out. We got her friends around and my mama still working at FedEx. Y'all break it.
So after this is,
and her mom's still working at FedEx, yo. She just fucking straight up just doxing her own mom, yo.
This is all happening and this is all going on. What happened?
For clout too, for clout.
The oh so generous Tory Lanez, he hops in her DM and
Tory Lanez, damn, that nigga in jail and he gonna help you out? That's crazy.
He says, from Tory, if you're actually effed up and really tripping about 2,500, I'll send it to you, gang. I know how it feels to not have ish while needing it. I hope God blesses you. Let me know.
That's crazy. To be screaming a quantity, 2,500. What's 2,500 gonna get you? I swear to God, you can't do shit with that money. You get 2,500 bucks, that shit will stress you out because you already know you're gonna be broke like next week.
And then he said, huh? You want my chime? Didn't even say, oh my, she couldn't even hit the, oh my goodness, thank you so much.
That's a fact, chat. Like, be humble. How you gonna have the Tory Lanez in jail write you and say, yo, I got you, shorty, and you can't even be like grateful for it? Like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to Tory Lanez. Oh my God, Tory, I am so sorry to put you through this. I would have been my fucking reaction.
I really appreciate that. Is this real? Nah. Oh, you want my chime? That's what it looks like. I don't even know what a chime is. But
whoa. She went right to it. Like, you want my chime? Like, she didn't even say hi or thank you or, yo, I'm a big fan. Nothing. Cut to the meat and potatoes.
The 2,500 came from the interview that she did on TMZ. So Glorilla's sister will hop on TMZ and would say, and they were saying like, well, what type of money do you feel like you're entitled to? And she said 2,500. This is how you know this person is so small-minded.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. She is small-minded. How you think 25? I would have said 25K. No cap. 25K right away.
It's like if you went to, and this is a little bit of a heartbreaking reference, but I remember somebody told me a story, or I had heard somebody saying a speech, and they were doing some contribution, some charity work in some village in a very like poor and destitute place. And they asked the person, they said, hey, if you could have anything in the world, anything you could possibly imagine in this world, what would it be? And then I think the person said something like, oh, I would just want like a cow and some chickens. He's like, really? He's like, yeah, that way I can have milk. I can have like a calf and some chickens. That way I can have milk. I can have food and everything will be good for me after that. So the person could have asked for anything in the world.
Anything in the world.
But the way that their mind frame worked was, I'm just focused on surviving. Wow. Like they couldn't think past survival. And Glorilla here, Glorilla's sister is talking about 2,500. 2,500. That's not money. That's not going to get you anywhere. But anyway,
nothing.
She gets sent the 2,500 from Tory, and it says, "Tell him thanks." And then what happens? He didn't want me to post this, but your boy heard about the situation all the way in jail. Tory Lanez, thank you. So Tory Lanez tells this individual not to post it. Shit. Can't even follow directions.
Can't even follow
just
simple
absolute goof troop. Ignoring his request. She would hop on live, and this is the funniest part. Oh, 2,500, what did she do with that? She hopped on live with new jewelry the next day and was flexing it.
Diablo.
Whoa.
Que chamaquita.
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
She technically didn't need
Nina just built an app.
Impossible. Nina can't code. Interesting. Can it generate reports?
It can't.
But get what?
Technically didn't need the bag.
Y'all still ain't doing up to put paper in my pocket. Please, man. Hey, I got some more pictures with a wig on. Is that gonna go viral too? Baby, y'all know I ain't had these chains on in the last live.
And she boasting
And the
about it too.
earrings either.
That's crazy.
I ain't had none of this on.
So what happens next is that Glorilla, she was trolling her sister with like changing her name, posting Indeed.com. This is all happening on Fifth. Like happens.
Yo, that is so embarrassing, yo.
Y'all know I picture with a wig on. Is that gonna go viral too?
That's crazy.
Y'all know I ain't had these chains on in the last live.
Oh God. She went and bought 2 chains and 2 earrings. But how much did she spend on that though? You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's that much money. Like 2 chains, that little. Like my chains cost some money. You know what I mean? Like how much did those cost her? Sorry, chat. I mean, I'm taking advantage of my new chair. Fuck that shit. This shit is comfortable, man. Oh God. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat, for fucking watching. I appreciate everybody watching. Okay, so let's break this down. Tory Lanez goes out of his way to send this girl $2,500. And the first thing that she thinks about doing is buying drip and then going live and throwing it in people's faces that she bought drip with it. Oh, man.
And the earrings either. I ain't had none of this on.
So what happens next is that
God, please do not let one of my cousins do some dumb shit like this. Because I know that there's cousins of mine that they really don't fuck with me, man. And they will do anything, chat, to get attention. I'm telling you, they will do anything to get attention. And, man, I just hope nobody ever gets the idea of going live and doing the, well, for the most part, guys, it happened on Facebook, okay? So this was all happening on Facebook Live. This was not like Instagram. My bad, just bit my tongue. That was not like Instagram. This is a day old, chat. So this is only 24 hours old. This just happened.
Glorilla, she was trolling her sister with like changing her name, posting Indeed.com. This is all happening on Facebook, by the way, of all places. And Glorilla hops on Facebook Live. Yes, Facebook Live with like 100K viewers, damn near 85K viewers. And she brings her mom on to explain her side of the story, which I'm going to play you guys a clip right now.
They're laughing at me. That's crazy.
Like I said, I don't like y'all being in the public because, like I said, you gonna do stuff like go work because you still want to. So it ain't no point of, like, that's why I ain't want you. My mama begged me to put statements out to take her side, and no, she don't gotta do all that. Mom, you keep doing what you want to do. You keep getting spoiled every month, and you keep working because you want to work, because you don't want to lay on your back.
Yep.
And beg.
Listen, if I get put on and you see me with a bag, chat, like the bag, like not the shit that you think that you see. Not the shit you think you see, chat. I'm talking about the bag. Like, if you see me with the bag, chat, the first people I'm putting on is my aunt, Tivelli. I'm putting her on, like, for real. Why? Because her and Jose Juan, they don't deserve to work. They don't. They did enough. They raised a whole bunch of motherfucking hooligans. Some of us turned out good. Some of us didn't. But at the end of the day, chat, they don't owe anybody a motherfucking thing. Nobody owes nobody shit. The fuck? Stand on your own too. And this is Glorilla proving the point that she was just capping, that her sister was just capping about how she just bought her father a car. Because in the other video, if you guys don't remember, she was talking about how she bought her father a car. Oh, Glorilla bought my dad a car. He don't even got money to drive it. Hey, my mother got to go to work. Like, this is clarifying all that bullshit.
Ain't nobody for nothing.
We resigned because the girl told where we were, the hours that we were going, so we had to resign.
And that's fine, because you don't gotta.
You see what I'm saying, chat? Do you see what I'm saying, chat? Do you see how crazy this shit got in like 15 seconds? for 15 minutes of fame that everybody's gonna forget about. In like a month, nobody gonna know who the fuck Glorilla's sister is. But they still will pass by that FedEx. They will pass by that FedEx. That's fucking insane. She doxed her mother just to prove a point. That's so fucking lame.
Like,
yo.
how many hours was you working
Now
there?
listen, I'm not gonna attack her because anybody in a desperate situation where they are just broke as fuck. Yo, listen, being broke sucks. Being a hater and being broke is even worse. And if you're an envious hater, then that's even making the whole shit more impacting. It's gonna definitely make you do something dumb. You know what I'm saying? But without bashing her more than everybody in the internet is already bashing her, I do not applaud this move right here because now her mom had to resign because she did something as lame as tell everybody exactly where she works, the hours she works, and where it is.
Anyway.
2, 3.
So you going to work for 2-3 hours, but she acting like you just need to go work there. I'm pretty sure that's $200 a
She
week.
didn't know we were working at
Look at that
first.
shit.
And when I
Look at
didn't
that
give
shit.
her the money, I did, and I said, well, I'm working. She said, you working? So that made her think that I was struggling.
It's cool, Ma. You taken care of. You know you can get whatever you want. You don't got to
That's called a
explain nothing.
hater.
I let you come on here on my live so they can hear your side of the story because everybody hearing everybody's side of the story but mine because I wasn't going to say nothing. I was just going to let God deal with it. But what she not finna do was just act like you were just this horrible parent. Okay, yes, we struggle. Everybody struggle. Like, it is what it is. Thank you, Mom, for raising me to be who I am. Thank you for giving me my name and marking me to be blessed to be able to take care of the people who take care of me. And I love you and I thank you for all your time you spend with us as kids to where I'm at now. I love you, Mom.
Love you too.
This is why I switched to Weight Loss by Hims. Weight loss.
That's beautiful to say that about your parents.
Variety of options for weight loss.
Like, all you ever want to do is repay everything anybody ever did for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, even my ex-mother-in-law, I would like her to have a nice life. Like, she looked out for me every time I got locked up. Every time I went to jail, she bailed me out. So you want to look out for the people who looked out for you, but come on, you can't think that you gotta look out for every fucking cousin, every fucking brother and sister you got. Like, I want to look out for everybody. But then if I look out for everybody, I'm not gonna have shit to look out for myself. You understand what I'm saying? So if I give everybody everything I got, then what the fuck do I stay with? And that's the problem with the haters. They don't see that you now have the same life that you had, but it's just more expensive. You understand what I'm saying? So, but they're looking at it like, oh, but you got more now. Like, okay, I do. But I also spend more. And I take care of more people. Like me right now, I take care of a few people. Believe it or not. And I don't got shit. And I still have to take care of people. Why? Because there's less fortunate people out there that need your help. And what do? You got to be a Buddhist. You got to be in your everybody's a Buddhist if they didn't know it. You don't have to be a Buddhist because you are already born one. You understand? That's just nature. The same way you're born as a human that's meant to roam the earth and learn new things, same shit. You're born a Buddhist. You just don't know it. You understand? Not on a religious shit where you're like, oh, I don't want to be a Buddhist because I don't subscribe to that. Like, no. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about everybody's born a Buddhist because everybody's born to be their best and most highlighted person. They're the most elite person that they could be, the most divine version of themselves they could be. Your whole life is based on you trying to be a better version of yourself. You only want money to be a better version. You only want to get paid more money so you can live a better quality. You only want to have the best health because you want to live longer. It's because you want to reach your best peak. That's Buddhism. To want the best for you is the best for everybody else. Because if you don't get the best, then how could you give the best? You get what I'm saying? I don't know if it makes sense, but chat, we all born Buddhists.
All right, I'm going to get on here and I'm going to talk. I'm going to say what I got to say, but you done.
So this is the situation that Glorilla's mom talks about, which is Glorilla was working.
Who I am. Thank you for giving me my name. And
literally,
I did, and I said, well, I'm working. She said, you working? So that made her think that I was struggling.
What an assumption.
It's cool, Ma. You taken care of. You know you can get whatever you want. You don't got to explain nothing. I let you come on here live on my live so they can hear your side of the story. Because everybody hearing everybody's side of the story but mine. Because I wasn't going to say nothing. I was just going to let God deal with it. But what she not finna do was just act like you were just this horrible parent. Okay, yes, we struggle. Everybody struggle. Like, it is what it is.
Say who don't.
Thank you, Mom, for raising me to be who I am. Thank you for giving me my name and marking me to be blessed to be able to take care of the people who take care of me.
Good.
And I love you and I thank you for all
That's
your
a
time you
good
spend with us as
raised
kids
woman.
to where I'm
God
in now.
bless.
I love you, Mom.
I love you too, baby. Thank you so much.
All right, I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, but you done.
So this is the situation.
Yeah, I'm in Gotham City in a Batmobile. Even though it get crazy, niggas don't talk like Swayze.
But take a look now. This is video showing the scene out here last night. This is just off of Avenue X and Brown Street. And you
Designer did not have to register himself as a sex offender. Instead, he was sentenced to one. I had to beat my shit. Not only flight, after being told on from this incident in 2022, Designer would then get into a shouting altercation with police in LA after being pulled over for no plates and a dark window tint. He'd also spark up a beef with Louisville rapper ESTG over the price of a feature, which I thank the heavens because no one wanted an ESTG and Designer song. Also, towards the end of the year, Designer vowed to quit rap after the death of Migos member Takeoff. After another long year of L's, Designer then went back into his cave of irrelevancy until he popped back out in 2023 to give us some of the most diabolical, jaw-dropping, unflattering news of all time. In 2023, Designer was arrested for indecent exposure after masturbating in front of a flight attendant mid-flight after being told multiple times to stop before eventually being taken to the back of the plane where he was monitored by 2 of his friends to keep his dick in his pants. Even though this situation is very serious, I find it very funny that the FBI made it sure to be known that while Designer was switching seats to go to the back of the plane, a jar of Vaseline fell onto the floor. If I was on that plane, I would absolutely be rolling on the ground, bruh. I would be rolling on the floor with the Vaseline going up and down the aisle. Anyway, after landing in Minneapolis, authorities say they spoke with Designer, who then told them this situation all happened because he didn't really get much cootie while in Japan, and he was brick hard when he got on the plane. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't think I've ever been on a plane ride where I was just overly horny to the point where I had to beat my shit. Not only was Designer so horny that he couldn't even hold himself together without pulling his meat out, according to documents, Designer said he was aroused by the flight attendant and kind of showed her his magic stick, thinking that it would give her encouragement, I guess, to join him in the Mile High Club. I don't know, bruh. This nigga is way too gooned out if he genuinely thought pulling out his meat was gonna make a flight attendant want to bounce on him. Anyway, Designer also claimed he wasn't under the influence, which I don't know why he would say that, but he did say he was prescribed medicine in Thailand, but hadn't taken them yet. And according to documents, he didn't appear to be impaired during the interview with the FBI, and TMZ was originally told that Designer got ill during his international trip and was giving meds where he believes that this caused a sort of chemical imbalance within himself. The rapper also told TMZ that he's been struggling mentally for the past few months and was ashamed of what he did in the air. He said that he would be admitting himself into a facility to get help. Basically, this nigga just copped a plea for beating his meat on a plane. I'm sorry, that was a crazy sentence to say. Bro is basically blaming mental health on the fact that he whipped his meat out and started beating it on a plane. Luckily enough, and I don't even know how this happened, I did hear he took a plea deal, but Designer did not have to register himself as a sex offender. Instead, he was sentenced to 120 hours of community service, fined $5,000, and he would remain on probation for 2 years after he was charged with masturbating on a flight from Tokyo to Minneapolis on April 17th. From there, Designer career was as dead as it comes, and there was really nothing else that anyone could say to really defend the fact that this nigga is a pervert. And even though he did continue to release music and even tried rebranding himself as a more lyrical rapper, it didn't do anything for his career, and it's been dead ever since. Until March 23rd, 2026, where the New York rapper found himself again booked into jail, where he is now facing 1 charge of 3rd-degree domestic violence. He was released on a $1,500 bond on Tuesday, which is very low, but his career is already cooked, so it don't even matter. According to the police report obtained by TMZ, this arrest stems from an incident that occurred on March 2nd. The alleged victim, being Designer's baby mom, told police that Designer came home angry on March 2nd and began yelling at her and tossing car keys. And whenever she attempted to leave, Designer then allegedly grabbed the keys from her, tearing her sweatpants in the process. I don't know how you're grabbing keys from someone, yet you end up tearing their sweatpants in the process. I just think this guy's too freaky. She went on to then claim that Designer grabbed their child and put the kid in a car seat and pushed the woman to the ground when she tried to stop him. The altercation reportedly left minor scratches on her arm and lower back. Police say the child did not see the incident, and the mother says that she called the police, but Designer had fled the scene by the time they arrived. He was eventually arrested on Monday, March 23rd, and now we are here where we are just pointing the finger and laughing at this grown-ass man because there's obviously been a consistent issue throughout this man's entire career, and that obviously stems from mental issues. And even though I do believe he suffers from some sort of mental issues, which I do understand, he was in the industry as a youngin, and the industry is an evil world, but I can't excuse all the actions that have led up to where he is today. There's not a single mental issue that I can think about on this entire planet that can justify him domestically abusing the mother of his child and masturbating on a plane. It's so sad to see what the industry and the world could do to someone, but at the same time, that is no excuse to be a bad person. I genuinely hope that Designer gets the help that he needs because his mental health will be the detriment of not just his career, but his entire life, and I would hate to see something worse happen to this man. And though I made jokes throughout the video, I genuinely hate to see a guy who was so bubbly and so happy whenever he broke onto the scene. It's like every time you see a Designer, he was always smiling and always so energetic and enthusiastic, and now whenever you look at this mugshot, you just see a soulless face. It's like his life has been taken away from him. It's so sad to see.
Well, I mean, if you get caught
What's going on, y'all? It's
masturbating,
your
how
boy
else are you
Zio, and I
supposed
just
to
wanted to quickly thank y'all so much for watching the video. Usually, of course, I've been talking a lot about underground and smaller artists lately, but I decided I wanted to talk about someone a little bit bigger, even though he's not that big. He's fucking Designer. Anyway, I felt like this was just funny. I like to talk about old random falling off rappers from time to time, just to, you know, that nostalgia trip. And also, I do thank you if you bared with me through the audio, because if you hear me having a list or slurping or whatever, whoa, pause, that's a crazy one. Slurping, nigga, I'm not slurping. But if you hear that, that's because I'm a brace face now. 365. The lieutenant is a brace face, you feel me? So don't get on me too crazy, you feel me? I got 21 months with these things, so we gonna have a lot of time to get adjusted to these hoes. Trust me, I just got them put on yesterday, so they're still tight, they're still doing this thing, and I'm still trying to adjust to it myself. But I appreciate y'all so much for watching. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Love you, stay cool, and y'all already know I'm grinding.
Drop it in the comment box, like, if you like what you saw, man. What you think about that? Designer, wilding the fuck out. For real. I can't believe this shit got no audio.
Thank you so much, my brother.
Well, it does got
Thank you
audio.
so much, my brother. Thank you so much. Yo, shouts to Monkey King, great Monkey King, real motherfucker. Let's go. Shouts to Monkey King, real motherfucker with the 10 subs.
If you're a producer who hates AI, this plugin might change your mind. This is Reimagining Co-Producer. You can take any sample you find and
In May of 2024, a man named Herb Bebebek uploaded this eerie footage to his TikTok account. The recording comes from a home security camera during the dead of night. It shows something that is both strange and deeply disturbing. Initially, the video shows a simple view of the property. The yard is still and silent under the heavy darkness. Everything seems normal until you notice a strange movement.
छाया मात्र छ यस्तो मान्छेका हुन्छ किन बस्यो है स्लो गरे मैले फेरि धेरै स्लो हुन्छ भनेर छोडिदिनु
What y'all talking about?
गम्बुट लाछ है
Hey, what's that?
कपाल जिग्रिन
Oh,
कपाल उड्यो यो मान्छे कपाल उड्यो छाया छाया जस्तो छ हैन गम्बुटबाट माथि क्लियर देखिदैन नि के कपाल उड्दै गएको छ गम्बुट फेरि गर्दा कपाल उडेको जस्तो हुन्छ क्या अब त्यो क्लियर गर्दा अरु केटाहरु आउँछ सर लगे
A pale figure emerges from the shadows and begins to walk slowly across a lawn. The shape looks like a woman wearing long, flowing clothes. She does not look toward the house or acknowledge the camera at all. Some people think this is a real person who looks blurry because of the low light. Security cameras often make shadows and clothing blend together into a hazy shape. Even with a logical explanation, the way she moves is undeniably spectral. She walks with a slow, rhythmic pace that feels like a dream. I feel terrible for the homeowner because seeing a stranger in your yard at 3 a.m. is my worst nightmare. This is why I always double check my door locks before I go to bed. It makes me wonder who this woman woman was and what she was doing out there. Was she just a neighbor who got lost in the dark, or was she searching for something she lost a long time ago? Maybe she is a spirit who is just determined to get her nightly steps in. The way she vanishes into the darkness at the edge of the frame is chilling. I cannot imagine waking up and seeing this on my phone the next morning. What do you think you would do if you caught this on your own camera? This footage is genuinely unsettling. I am being completely serious when I say this is hard to watch. This specific incident was captured in Honduras. If you look closely at the background, you can see Congresswoman Gladys Aurora Lopez.
No nos dejan entrar.
Interviene, dice la Constitución en el 205, a poder llevar a cabo la declaratoria si el
Gladys, tiene Gladys Aurora, Teresita, Cali, también Teresita, ¿qué es lo que está pasando ahí?
¿A dónde? ¿Aquí?
Sí, ¿por qué no entran?
No nos dejan entrar.
In this video, a group of people are surrounded by reporters and are being asked several questions. Suddenly, an unknown individual in the crowd hurls an object. It is difficult to determine exactly what the item was, however, it appears to be a type of explosive device. The object detonated immediately. The woman in the frame was struck by the blast. This caused an immense amount of chaos and panic for everyone nearby. I feel terrible that she had to experience such a terrifying and random act of violence. It is frightening how a normal interview can turn into a tragedy in a heartbeat. Despite the intensity of the explosion, reports confirm she survived and did not suffer any major permanent injuries. Initially, it was unclear if this was a targeted attack or random madness. Authorities had to move with a quick response to secure the area. The investigation into who threw the device remains ongoing. This is why I always feel nervous in large, uncontrolled crowds. You simply never know what someone is hiding in their hands.
That's why I stay my ass at home.
In June 2025, a worker named Matzio Brandon Sanchez shared a TikTok video that might make you avoid funeral homes forever. Matzio describes how he and his colleagues have been hearing bizarre noises echoing through the halls. These sounds happen even when the building is entirely empty. As he records the room, he insists that everything is normal. He claims there are only shadows and silence around him, but at the 30-second mark, a terrifying event proves him wrong.
Tenemos rato escuchando ruidos aquí en esta zona. Si vemos, pues está solo y creemos que pues hay algo aquí porque pues se empiezan a mover así como que medio raro. Miren cómo se mueve, miren cómo se mueve. No hay nada. No hay nada. Está mi compañero, pero pues si vemos estamos solos.
In this video by Matzio, we see a heavy coffin lid suddenly lift and open on its own. There is no one inside the casket and no one standing near the display. The visual is chilling, but the fear in Matzio's voice makes it feel much worse. Initially, some viewers thought it might be a spirit trying to communicate from the other side. Others suggested that air pressure or faulty metal hinges caused the movement. However, the quick motion of the wood makes those theories hard to believe. I feel terrible for anyone who has to work alone in a place filled with so much sadness and mystery. This is why I always prefer to be in well-lit, crowded areas at night. Shortly after the first event, Matzio posted a second update from the funeral home. His voice sounds far more frantic this time. He points out a strange object in the room that appears to be burned. He confirms again that he is the only living person inside the structure. The situation begins to spiral out of control as Matzio starts to shout.
¿Cuál pinche que se ve? Que nada. Estoy solo, la chingada. Estoy solo. La chingada. No mames.
Furniture and various items begin toppling over in a swift sequence. It looks as if an invisible force is shoving everything to the floor. Matzio reacts with raw emotion, swearing and yelling while he tries to keep his camera steady. Skeptics think this could be a staged prank using hidden wires or drafts, but the intensity of his panic is very difficult to fake. If any part of this footage is real, it raises a very dark question. What kind of energy is powerful enough to toss heavy furniture in a place meant for rest? I cannot imagine standing in that room small objects are being thrown by something I cannot see. It feels like a warning to get out of the building immediately. Do you believe a spirit could have enough physical strength to move heavy wooden tables? This footage comes from Villa de Loma, located in a department in southwestern Colombia. In this video, you can see a group of people traveling down a very isolated road. The path looks sketchy and dangerous even before the trouble starts. What happens next is truly terrifying to witness.
Wow is gonna get a snack. Here you go. That's it, wow. Can't eat too much of that stuff.
A red car suddenly blocks the path in what appears to be a kidnapping or robbery attempt. Initially, the travelers do not know how to react to the vehicle stopping in front of them. The situation becomes extremely nerve-wracking as the occupants of the red car move toward them. Local officials have not been able to determine exactly what the criminals wanted. The biggest problem is that this road has almost no law enforcement monitoring it. I feel terrible for anyone who has to travel such a lawless area alone. The people in that red car escaped and were never caught by the police. This is why I never like driving on deserted back roads where there is no help nearby. This footage is truly alarming. In this video, we see an observer recording a standard ambulance being towed down the street, but a massive disaster was about to unfold. Initially, everything seems fine, but we have to remember that these vehicles carry pressurized oxygen cylinders. I'd actually overlooked that fact until you guys pointed it out. Suddenly, the entire back of the vehicle is struck by a violent explosion. The blast is incredibly quick and sends debris everywhere. Most people find comfort in the routine of a workday, but for one mother working at a local hotel, the shadows were watching back. While she went about her tasks, a stranger sat nearby, his eyes fixed on her for hours. She had no idea that he wasn't just a guest, he was a predator waiting for his moment. When her shift finally ended, she began her usual trek toward the train station to catch a ride home. But tonight, the silence of the walk was an illusion. The stranger followed her exact path, trailing her up the stairs and onto the deserted platform. On that platform, he did the unthinkable. In a frenzied, senseless outburst, he ambushed her, striking her 23 times with a screwdriver. To ensure she couldn't call for help, he snatched her phone and hurled it into the river before vanishing into the night. What makes this case truly bone-chilling isn't just the violence, it's the total lack of remorse. While the victim was fighting for every breath, her attacker was caught on camera buying beer and dancing through the hotel hallways. In a final haunting display of depravity, he was filmed partying with friends outside, mere feet away from where ambulance lights were flashing in the dark, desperately trying to save the life he nearly extinguished.
What?
A woman named Sandre shared a video on TikTok that will make you rethink everything you know about the afterlife. Ever since her mother passed away, Sandre has witnessed bizarre activity inside her house. The events are unsettling enough to make her feel like she is never truly alone. In this video by Sandre, she films the inside of a bedroom where something unexpected happens with quick speed.
In my house, my mom passed away.
That is crazy.
You can see a dresser drawer begin to slide open entirely on its own and move slowly and steadily as if an invisible hand is pulling it. Sandre walks closer to the furniture to show there is nothing nearby to explain the movement. There are no hidden strings, no pets, and no fans blowing air in the room. The silence of the scene is exactly what makes the motion feel so eerie. I feel terrible for her because losing a parent is hard enough without your home feeling haunted. This is why I always feel a bit jumpy when I hear floorboards creak in an empty house.
I looked underneath the drawer, I looked behind it, there's nothing making it pop out. It seems like it's when I bring up my mom that something happens. Mom?
Chat debating over nonsense as usual.
Okay, it's fucking
Only a second or two after, Sandra calls out for her mother. The drawer opens again. Initially, it looks like a coincidence, but the timing feels like a direct reply to her voice. The precision of the movement makes you wonder if it was a purposeful act. Skeptics will say that she used fishing wire to pull the wood, even though nothing is visible in the clip. But if the footage is real, it shows a touching possibility. It could be a gentle form of communication from a mother reaching out from beyond the grave. The last moment of the video feels deeply personal and strangely comforting. It is rare to see a video that is both frightening and beautiful at the same time. I hope she finds peace regardless of what caused that drawer to move. Do you think this was a paranormal encounter or just a very convincing trick for them? Here's another short clip that is downright terrifying.
Oh my God.
There was nothing earthquake-like about this. Strong winds in Turkey were the cause of this.
Siri's dictation was driving me crazy.
How the fuck did that kid know?
Here's why I'll never go back. First,
on November 20th, a recording emerged from a church in St. Louis that captured a moment of pure dread. What was intended to be a joyous engagement ceremony was suddenly shattered by the arrival of a total stranger who claimed he had a dark confession to share. The footage was so unsettling that it sparked an immediate police investigation and was scrubbed from most internet platforms almost as fast as it had gone viral.
Sorry. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm a murderer. I'm a murderer.
Cousin.
I need help.
Oh my God, Bradley.
I killed plenty of people. I do not want to kill anyone else.
Bradley, come on.
I killed a lot of people. Oh my gosh. Please forgive me.
Come on, cuz. Bradley, look at me. We just came.
Move to the side. Please forgive me. Please, God. Please forgive me for my sins. I am sorry for hurting other people. I do not want to hurt another human being as long as I live. I have asked you for forgiveness from this. Please help me.
Following the incident, the couple featured in the video released a statement to address the overwhelming public outcry. The primary question on everyone's mind was whether the encounter had been a staged prank, but the couple confirmed the terrifying reality. The event was completely authentic.
This is the story time to when our proposal got interrupted by a man confessing a murder.
I'm going to start off by saying that it is not AI, it's 100% real.
Since I posted the video, his neighbor commented and said that he hasn't been home in 3 weeks, which is when our proposal happened, and that her boyfriend saw him with like bloodied knuckles and said that he got in a fight with his...
While the footage has been handed over to local authorities and the individual has reportedly been identified, the police have yet to release an official statement, adding to the mystery. The woman in the video noted that the man had not been seen for 3 weeks prior to his appearance at the church. It remains uncertain if the stranger's behavior was the result of a sudden mental breakdown or a drug-induced episode.
She said that's the second time somebody confesses to a murder during our proposal. The second time? Wait, what?
But the incident has left the community with far more questions than answers.
I don't blame them.
A YouTuber named Beg shared this eerie footage back in May of 2008. In the first segment, you can see the creator walking through his home to perform a blessing in his kitchen. The atmosphere is calm until the situation takes a disturbing turn.
Come up here. Go. Up, puppy. Baby. Baby. Up. Up.
Without any warning, multiple objects are thrown to the floor by an unseen force. At that exact moment, the camera begins crackling with loud bursts of static. This noise makes the chaos unfolding around him feel even more intense. The creator has trembling hands and his breathing is very fast. It's clear that he's genuinely terrified by what is happening in his home. I feel terrible that he had to experience such a violent disruption in a place that should be safe. This is why I always feel uneasy when I hear unexplained banging in another room. The video cuts off suddenly, but the story does not end there. Not long after, he posted a second video from a stationary camera in the same kitchen. What this second camera captures is even more chilling. If you look closely at the screen, a ghostly figure glides across the kitchen before vanishing. The movement is so quick that you might miss it the first time you watch, but once you see the figure, it is very hard to ignore. Skeptics say the objects were moved with fishing wire and the ghost was added with editing software. However, back in 2009, this would have required a lot of technical skill and planning. Initially, it looks like a simple haunting, but the physical force used to throw items is alarming. It makes me wonder if the blessing itself actually triggered the response. Was this a real case of a poltergeist or just a very clever hoax from the early days of the platform? Either way, it is one of the most memorable ghost videos ever shared online. It serves as a reminder that we might not be the only ones inhabiting our living spaces. If you ever see things moving on their own, would you stay in the house or leave immediately?
No, I must stay in my house.
This footage comes from a CCTV camera in Bengaluru, India. You can see a small group of people standing on a sidewalk. They are just talking and going about their day. It looks like a normal afternoon until the very end.
Oh, wow. Totally missed that second guy, huh? How was your chicken, little boy? You enjoyed it?
Did you know Auto-Tune can be used on instruments? Let me show you how I transform this synth loop with Auto-Tune Pro. Pull up Auto-Tune Pro. I've got the input type set to instrument here, and then I turn the retune speed all the way up. We're transposing it up too. What happens when I put these two things together? And I'm going to copy it again, but we're going to drop it an octave. Auto-Tune Pro is 50% off.
A 42-year-old man was driving while intoxicated. He lost control and crashed his vehicle. The car came barreling toward the bystanders at a quick speed. Initially, the group did not notice the danger. Then they heard a loud noise and reacted with a swift jump. Most of the people managed to move out of the way. One person was struck and suffered minor injuries. The driver was also wounded in the collision. I feel relieved that nobody was killed in this wreck. It is terrifying how life can change because of one person's bad choice. We are lucky no youngsters were walking there. A young one would not have been able to move that fast. Always keep your ears open when you're near a road. On October 11th, 2025, a harrowing outdoor encounter was shared by a user known as Adventure Marksman. While he and his wife were deep in a remote wilderness scouting an old logging trail for elk, they were stopped in their tracks by a sound that mimicked a child in distress. Reacting quickly, they began documenting the area with a GoPro. However, the audio they captured defied simple explanation. Instead of a lost youngster, it appeared to be two distinct creatures using complex vocalizations to communicate with one another.
Holy shit.
Oh. You try to talk that shit now. Oh, hell no. That sounds like that shit from Predator. What makes that noise?
Woo!
You said let's go a little further. I saw something walking over there. I couldn't see it.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Despite being experienced armed hunters, the couple was visibly shaken by the experience.
I'd be shaken too. I would be shaken. Where you going, little boy? Alexa, turn off all lights. Alexa, turn on the main bedroom light. Alexa, turn on the bedroom light. Alexa, turn off the main bedroom light. Oh, I guess that's the right there. No, I wouldn't want to be there either. Trust me, I would leave. What would you do, Jack?
Nice and slow. The atmosphere felt so predatory and unnatural that they eventually chose to retreat from the area, though they noted a bizarre energy permeating that specific patch of forest. Before they could fully escape the woods, they stumbled upon one final inexplicable discovery that added to the mystery of the location.
It's got to be 12 feet high or 15 feet maybe, and the bark is just stripped.
Thank you, Barlow.
I don't know what could do that.
On January 20th, 2023, a man named Anthony Young shared a short but terrifying video from his home security system on Facebook. He asked his friends and viewers to help him figure out what exactly his camera had recorded in the middle of the night. The footage is quite short, but it shows a very clear and disturbing event. You can see a person walking around outside in the dark, with only a few faint lights visible in the yard. Initially, the scene looks perfectly normal and quiet. There is no noise and nothing seems to be out of place in the background. Then a very strange event happens near the garbage cans.
Scale your marketing with Base 44 super agents. No setup time.
We see a ghostly figure suddenly sprint across the open yard. The pale shape moves with a lot of purpose and heads directly toward the front door of the house. The figure vanishes into thin air before it ever reaches the entrance, leaving no physical trace behind. The quick speed of the apparition makes the whole moment feel especially unnerving. It is the kind of footage that forces you to hit the rewind button just to make sure your eyes were not playing tricks on you. I feel terrible for Anthony because the idea of a spirit rushing your front door is enough to keep anyone awake at night. This is why I always keep my porch lights on and check my camera alerts immediately. Skeptics have looked at the clip and offered several grounded explanations for the shape. Some believe it was just a small insect flying very close to the camera lens. Others think it was a trick of the light or a real person who looks blurry because of the motion. However, the way the figure runs and then instantly disappears makes those theories hard to accept. Anthony has not posted any updates since he shared this original clip. Because of this, we do not know if he experienced any other strange activity in his home afterward. I truly hope that whatever that fleeting shape was, it never actually found a way to get inside his house. This video was taken in the Russian city of Vanich, caught by a man who heard an odd noise. Yes, I believe he was aware that a drone was approaching, but he had no intention of filming the exact moment it struck a structure. It is still unclear why it crashed into a structure, and there have been no official reports on casualties or damage to date.
Hey, yo.
Elementary schools are normally known as places of joy and growth. These are spaces where young ones take their first steps into the world, but when these buildings are abandoned and left to rot, the warmth fades away. A much heavier feeling takes its place. Some of these forgotten structures seem to hold onto a dark energy. In August of 2023, a TikTok user named Mike Runner shared a video of an abandoned school. The building had clearly been left untouched for many years. As he moves through the empty hallways, you can see a creeping sense of unease Chinese. I feel terrible for anyone who has to explore these places alone. This is why I never like visiting old buildings after the sun goes down. Mike finds drawings from youngsters scattered across the dusty floors. Most of the art looks innocent. However, a few pages show unsettling shapes that feel out of place. The imagery does not seem like the work of a typical youngster. The drawings are spread out across different rooms. It looks as if the school was vacated in a quick manner and frozen in time. A strange metallic voice suddenly cuts through the silence. It echoes down the hallway with a robotic and unnatural tone. It is impossible to tell where the sound is coming from. Some viewers think this is a spirit trying to communicate. Others believe the audio was added later using distortion effects. Still, the sound blends with the atmosphere in a way that feels disturbingly real. A large dark figure appears standing motionless in the corner of a room. It does not move or react to Mike. It simply looms in place. This shape is easy to miss initially, but it is impossible to ignore once you see it. Some say it is just a shadow or an oddly shaped object. Others insist the figure is too defined to be a mistake. The video captures an eerie stillness that many associate with haunted places. The laughter of young ones has been replaced by silence and decay. I cannot imagine seeing a dark figure watching me from a corner. Do you think this was a real person hiding in the school or something else?
Apparently you can go from 0 to a complete site in just a single prompt with Wix Harmony. I don't know if this is going to be possible.
On June 12, 2000, what began as a routine commute in Rio de Janeiro turned into one of the most devastating tragedies in modern Brazilian history. A 21-year-old named Sandro Barbosa do Nascimento boarded bus line 104 with a concealed revolver, intending to rob the passengers. But when military police intercepted the vehicle, the robbery transformed into a 5-hour hostage crisis, broadcast live to millions of terrified viewers. Sandro was no stranger to horror. As a child, he had witnessed his mother's murder and later survived the infamous Candelaria massacre, where off-duty officers opened fire on street youngsters. Now, he was the one holding the gun. He forced hostages to the windows, placed his weapon in their mouths, and even staged a fake execution to keep the police at bay, while he whispered to the hostages that it was all a performance for the cameras. The tension outside was reaching a breaking point. The police response was a masterclass in chaos. With no clear strategy and media crews allowed dangerously close, the standoff dragged on for hours. Finally, as the sun set, Sandro emerged from the bus using a young teacher named Geza as a human shield. In a frantic, botched attempt to stop him, an officer fired, accidentally striking Geza in the face. Startled and falling to the ground, Sandro pulled the trigger 3 times, executing the hostage in front of the entire nation.
Oh, wow.
But the nightmare didn't end with the arrest. Though Sandro was taken alive into a police van, he never made it to the hospital. He was strangled to death by the officers in the back of that vehicle, a final act of violence that left the world questioning who the true monsters were that day. The dashcam footage that is displayed was captured in a Moscow taxi. The taxi driver is simply following the route, but an unforeseen event is about to occur.
А? Да что за тоннель? А, мы как раз по нему едем. Стойте. Это большой? Я так не умею. Можешь сам сказать, через МКАД ехать. Спокойствие, мама, поворот, по-моему, это Просто я же за что это вообще?
Это вот туннель как раз.
Большой?
Давай. Все нормально. Стоп.
Нет, подождите.
Что вы делаете?
Нет, подождите. Остановите, пожалуйста, машину. Остановите.
Нельзя останавливаться.
Я умоляю вас, остановите машину.
Нельзя останавливаться. Нельзя останавливаться.
Ну я так не могу.
Тут нельзя останавливаться.
Это большой. Я знаю, я пешком пойду.
Нет.
Евгений, это сколько он метров?
Километр примерно. Тут нельзя.
Евгений, я вас умоляю.
Смотрите на меня. Со мной все хорошо. Смотрите на меня.
Это же живописный. Евгений,
Тут нельзя. Нет. Дайте мне руку. Все нормально. Смотрите на меня. Все нормально. Смотрите на меня. Все нормально. Не переживайте. Все нормально. Не переживайте. Все нормально. Ничего страшного. Доверяете мне? Все хорошо, не переживайте. Все.
In fact, the women at the front began to fear. They went into a tunnel, which is why. Although I'm not sure why she was worrying, panic attacks can occur suddenly. He deserves praise for keeping everything under control and preventing her from leaving in the midst of the tunnel. That would have been extremely risky. Fortunately, the excursion proceeded as planned. A Reddit user named Lomdrix shared a video on the Ghost subreddit that might change how you feel about being home alone during the day. The footage comes from his mother's Ring camera and proves that broad daylight does not always mean you are safe. In this video, you can see his mother putting a leash on the family dog. She is getting ready for a walk and seems completely unaware of anything strange happening nearby. Initially, the scene looks like a normal morning routine, but if you look at the hallway in the background, a shadow-like figure glides across the floor. The movement resembles a person walking past a doorway. It is especially unsettling because the mother does not react at all, even though the shape passes right behind her back. I feel terrible for her because realizing someone or something was that close without your knowledge is terrifying. This is why I always feel a bit paranoid, even when the sun is shining through the windows. Ring camera shadows are sometimes just tricks of the light or reflections from cars driving by. Shifting sunlight or lamps can often create distorted shapes that look like people. However, this hallway does not appear to have any light source that would cast such a deliberate shadow. The stride of the shadow looks purposeful, as if it had its own intention. It does not look like a random blur or a technical glitch. Imagine replaying your security footage and seeing a dark presence just a few feet away from you. Whether it was a paranormal spirit or a strange camera anomaly, the moment is undeniably chilling. It makes you rethink the comfort of a bright room. In 2009, news crews in Monterrey, Mexico, captured a deeply unsettling scene unfolding in front of a luxury hotel. A young woman identified as Gabriela Rico Jimenez was filmed having a public breakdown while screaming a series of terrifying allegations. She claimed to have been held captive by a powerful group of cannibals, a statement that led many internet investigators to speculate she was referring to the Illuminati. During her outcry, she named several high-profile individuals, including Carlos Slim, who was then the wealthiest man in the country. The disturbance quickly drew the intervention of local authorities, who apprehended her as the cameras continued to roll.
Joven al momento que estaba protagonizando este escándalo en plena vía pública. Adelante.
Yo asesinos, sí, pero que habían comido a humanos. ¡Humanos! Fuera la carne humana. Me llevan. A mí no me llevan hasta que eso no se aclare. A mí no me llevan. Ustedes estuvieron ahí. Fueron a sacar una copia para que me intentaran. No, suéltame. Suéltame. Suéltame.
Luis, esta es la triste realidad de la joven Gabriela Rico Jiménez, quien, como observamos en momentos, intentó también agredir al elemento policíaco que logró someterla esta madrugada. Por eso que, bueno, vamos a buscar la versión de las autoridades.
Following her arrest and the initial media coverage, the case took a cryptic turn. Gabriela effectively vanished from the public eye. There have been no follow-up interviews, official status updates, or public records regarding her whereabouts since that day. Theories regarding her disappearance remain divided. Many observers attribute the incident to a severe schizophrenic episode and assume she was moved to a private psychiatric facility. Others lean into darker theories, suggesting she was silenced by the influential figure she attempted to expose. Because there has been no official word on her fate for over a decade, Gabriela's story remains one of the most enduring and disturbing rabbit holes in the realm of modern urban legends. A windstorm hit in Bursa, Turkey. The footage that follows is insane.
Eyvahlar olsun arkadaşlar. Eyvah. Eyvahlar olsun. Eyvahlar olsun arkadaşlar. Eyvah. Yok. Yapacak yok. Batıyoruz.
He's too close.
Some claim that these waves caused several vessels to sink at the same time. Since this occurred only a few days ago, the full extent of the devastation is still unknown, and as of right now, no fatalities have been reported. Nevertheless, I've seen numerous films of objects falling from buildings and other structures, so that might be a risk. How many of you out there are fans of the show Stranger Things? It has become one of the most iconic series in television history. If you have seen it, you already know that Hawkins Lab is a very unsettling place. In the show, the facility is tied to dark experiments and dangerous monster attacks. In real life, the filming location is supposed to be a completely normal building. However, a TikTok posted by JC Rodriguez suggests there is more to the story. JC is a huge fan of the series and simply wanted to visit the site in person. Instead of a fun sightseeing trip, he walked away feeling genuinely shaken.
I told you. I thought it was crazy.
It's moving. I can see it. It's closing.
Oh! Shut. That guy rolling out the window. It completely shut. The car is started.
Did you see it?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Look, it's opening again.
Wait,
take it on video. Get on video. Somebody record this.
I am.
This is paranormal experience.
There's no wind either. Like you can look at the trees right now. They're not moving at all.
Completely abandoned. No wind. There's nothing in there.
Like you can look at the plants, the tree, nothing is blowing. It's just opening.
There's no explanation for that. It's also so irregular that it can't be like
It's opening.
It's opening.
It's opening.
No.
No, it's opening fast.
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
Oh my
That's the
God.
widest it's opened.
That fast too.
What is that?
It's opening and closing.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna need to send me that video.
Filming this? Okay, thank God.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I need to know the history of this place.
Is that a person?
Yeah, we're gonna save ourselves. Don't worry.
What is that?
What is what?
Do you see that? Look at my
there's
phone.
definitely
something moving inside. No, I see it. What is that? I see
Is
it.
that a person?
Is that a person?
Why does that looks like a person? I'm looking at JC's phone. It looks
Yeah,
like a
it's like a
in there.
person.
I'm looking at his phone. It's literally a figure. I'm scared, guys.
No, I
You're
see it.
recording
I
that,
see it.
right?
I see it.
Okay, so you could play back and show you guys.
Oh shit. Okay. Well. Okay. I see it. It's different. Please put the window up. I see it. It's a dark figure. It's a dark figure. It's a dark figure. It's a dark figure. I don't like that.
Ooh, brakes are on.
Please. I see a dark figure moving.
In this video by JC Rodriguez, you can see the front door of the building moving on its own. It looks as if an invisible person is gently pulling it from the inside. I feel terrible that a simple fan visit turned into such a creepy encounter. This is why I never like exploring old filming locations alone. The situation gets worse at the 1 minute mark of the footage. You can spot what looks like a dark hooded figure standing on one of the high balconies. This person or entity is watching JC and his friends from above. What makes this especially unnerving is the history of the location itself. Hawkins Lab was filmed at the old Georgia Mental Health Institute. This massive facility has been abandoned for decades. There are no staff members or security guards assigned to the building. Nobody should be inside that structure at all. Initially, you might think it's just a squatter, but the way the figure lingers is very haunting. Why was a door opening by itself if the site is truly empty? The idea of someone observing you from a dark window is my worst nightmare. The next time you watch this show, remember that not every mystery is fictional. Some buildings carry their own dark stories long before the actors arrive. Would you have the courage to walk up to that moving door? This video shows times celebrity obsession is indeed unhealthy. Watch. Luckily, no reports of injuries, but people need to be smarter than this. Check out this incredibly bizarre footage.
Mother trucker. Bro, thank goodness I was slow.
Picked a great main, but your voice doesn't quite match it?
We have a fix.
VoiceMod gives you over 150 lag-free, real-time voice changers and unlimited soundboards. Whether you want to speak with a realistic
Battlefield radio voice
or clear up your comms with the voice enhancer, our app works with any gamer app that supports voice chat.
Sound off with a voice that matches your main.
Or assemble and deploy your best audio memes with the perfect timing. Bruh. Add VoiceMod to your loadout today.
EVE Online is a vast universe.
Extremely slow reaction time, although I suppose he wasn't staring at the wheel, could account for his sluggish reaction. However, if I simply observed a wheel going in my direction, I would also be extremely perplexed. It was a normal day for this driver in Vietnam till this transpired.
Nhiệt độ từ 24 đến 35 độ. Dự báo thời tiết biển.
Two individuals fell off their scooter. Fortunately, the driver was alert and didn't hit them. Otherwise, they could have ended bad. A Reddit user named Small P shared a video on the Paranormal Encounter subreddit that has left the community baffled. Small P served in the Navy and spent many months of his life deployed at sea. He claims he witnessed many things he could not explain while on duty. This specific moment is the only one he ever managed to capture on his camera. The video begins with a view of an empty corridor lit by the cold glow of a security lens. Initially, the hallway looks completely ordinary and quiet, but after only a few seconds, something unexpected darts into the frame. A strange, dark figure moves with an unnatural bounce before it abruptly blinks out of existence. The people in the comment section were just as confused as the uploader was. One person said the shape looked like a character from a movie because of its fluid and inhuman movement. Others tried to claim it was just a young one running past the camera. However, the way the figure vanishes so suddenly makes that theory very hard to accept. I feel terrible for the sailors on that ship because there is nowhere to run when you're in the middle of the ocean. This is why I never liked the idea of being trapped in a small space with no easy exit. The setting of this video makes the mystery much deeper. This was not filmed on a busy street or in a normal neighborhood. The footage was recorded in the USS Ronald Reagan, which is an active Navy vessel. The ship was isolated in the deep ocean, far away from any other people. If it really was just a youngster, how would they have ever reached a military ship at sea? If it was not a person, then what did the camera small p actually record that night? The clip leaves behind a very uncomfortable and heavy impression. You can only hope that whatever that entity was, it never appeared in the sleeping quarters of the crew. This horrifying footage was recorded in Asuncion, the capital of Paraguay. The date was February 16, 2024. Heavy winds hit the city on that day. Usually a storm is not noteworthy. However, the result of this weather was terrifying. In this video, you can see a man on high scaffolding. He was simply doing glasswork when the wind became violent. The gusts threw the metal structure around. This caused him to fall and hang on for his life. I feel terrible for him because he was just trying to do his job. Local news identified the worker as 35-year-old Angel Gamara. Initially, it looks like he would not survive the drop. He had to hold on while the wind tossed him back and forth. The situation required a quick rescue effort. Emergency crews made a swift response to reach him. Angel survived this event with only minor injuries to his left leg. This is truly one of the best outcomes possible. I am relieved that no youngsters were walking below the scaffolding. A young one could have been struck by falling metal. A soccer game was underway in a gated community in Guayaquil, Ecuador. Players were running across an artificial pitch on a quiet evening. Security cameras recorded the exact moment the piece was shattered. 5 men wearing police uniforms marched onto the field. They were armed with rifles and wore masks to conceal their identities. The players dropped to the turf to avoid gunfire. These men were not officers, they were killers in disguise. The gunmen walked to the middle of the pitch and targeted a man in a black shirt. One attacker stepped on the man's head and executed him at point-blank range. Police later discovered 2 more bodies nearby. How do you protect yourself when a threat looks like a rescue? Attackers use uniforms to bypass security and create confusion. Pay close attention to how someone in uniform acts and moves. If something feels off, do not wait to find out why. Leave the area immediately.
Work today is broken. Every day, people juggle so many different tools just to get work done. A simple task turns into a time-consuming mess because work sprawl has scattered the tools and contexts we rely on. And the trend towards bundling software isn't addressing the root of the problem. The system's broken, and it's wasting our time. 8 years ago, we started ClickUp with a mission to save people time from switching between a bunch of different applications. But we knew the answer wasn't just bundling a bunch of tools together. We needed to rethink how software was built entirely. To solve the root of the problem, we built a single flexible platform with powerful primitives that can be shared to build multiple first-class products inside of one app. We call this convergence.
A woman named Megs uploaded a deeply unsettling video to TikTok that captures strange activity during the day. She grabs her phone because she feels like something is wrong in her house. Her brother is sleeping on the couch while she films the living area. He is completely unaware that a disturbing presence might be lingering just a few feet away from his head. Initially, the room looks quiet and safe, but if you look down the long hallway, A faint ghostly figure appears to be standing near the door. It stays visible for only a short time before it disappears entirely. Just a second or two later, the figure is gone from the frame. Megs explains in her caption that she recorded this footage years ago. Even after all this time, she still has no logical explanation for what the lens captured that day. I feel terrible for her because your home should be the one place where you feel completely secure. This is why I always feel a bit nervous when the house is too quiet during the afternoon. If you compare the video frames, a vacuum cleaner in the hall stays in the exact same spot. This detail makes the quick disappearance of the figure feel even more bizarre. There is no shadow moving away and no sign of an exit. The shape simply vanishes into thin air. Some people think a real person just stepped back into a room out of sight. Others believe it could be a clever trick made with digital editing software. However, the video sat unnoticed for years before she finally shared it with the world. This makes the idea of a planned hoax much harder to confirm with any certainty. It seems unlikely someone would work so hard on a fake video and then hide it for that long. What do you think was standing in that hallway? Was it a genuine ghost watching the family? Or is there a grounded explanation we are missing? If a youngster was in the house, I would be very worried about their safety around such an entity. You should never ignore the feeling that someone is watching you, even if you're in your own living room. It is a chilling reminder that we may never truly know what is hiding in the corners of our homes. If I told you this next video is the strangest thing you will see today, you might not believe me. Since this is just dashcam footage, you might think you have seen it all. You're wrong. Whatever you're picturing right now is likely far from the truth. You will not be able to guess what happens in these next few seconds. This video was recorded on September 15th in China. The events on screen are so confusing that people online created complex diagrams to explain the physics. In this video, you can see a collision that looks minor. However, the result is anything but small. Initially, the cars seem to barely touch, then one vehicle suddenly flips onto its side and slides past the other at a quick speed. I feel terrible for the people inside that car because that impact must have been jarring. It is frightening how a small bump can turn a heavy machine into a projectile. I always worry about other drivers when I'm out on the road. You never know when a simple lane change will go wrong. On a Tuesday in May 2025, a residential neighborhood in Pinellas County, Florida, became the backdrop for a traffic stop that spiraled into a full-blown arrest. It began when a deputy spotted a vehicle matching a bolo. Be on the lookout for reckless driving. The driver, a young woman already on edge from a self-described worst day ever, allegedly rolled through a stop sign, giving the deputy all the reason she needed to flip on the lights.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you have a bad experience at Pinellas County Sheriff's Office?
I have a lot of experience.
You're going to have another one if you don't calm down.
No, I can't calm down. I'm so beyond fed up right now. Like, this is actually ridiculous.
It sounds like you're just getting a ticket.
That's fine.
And then you can go about your way.
She can surely write me a ticket since she wanted to follow me since she's bored.
Okay.
That's completely fine.
Take it to court.
See me in court. Yes,
Take it to court.
She can see me in court.
But
that's absolutely absurd.
If you
that
battle
she's
us,
gonna follow
if
me
you battle us out
into
here,
my neighborhood,
you're gonna lose
because she wanted to get me a ticket.
She was the one from Ebola.
Okay.
And she brought in here. She did a stop bar violation, so I stopped her.
You can still do welfare check based on the bolo. Cause why is she all hot?
Because as soon as I pulled up, that's where I walked up to. She's yelling, and as I'm sitting here, she's saying she's gonna punch me in the face.
I didn't even have to keep driving, but she was following me.
But the moment the officer approached, it was clear this wasn't going to be a standard exchange. The driver was already erupting in hot-headed fury, screaming into her phone to her mother. The air was thick with hostility, but it crossed a dangerous line when the woman, in the heat of her rage, reportedly threatened to punch the deputy in the face. It's a moment of pure impulsive aggression, a threat made in the presence of law enforcement that instantly changed the stakes of the encounter.
Mad at her for enforcing
I'm
something
mad at her for following me for no reason.
Okay, well you can't threaten.
So you guys can just sit there and follow people?
You can't threaten to punch us either.
So you guys can just sit there and follow people for no reason, without a reason to do so?
Sure.
641 Cup Ball, 575. Go welfare check 14.
Are you tired of sounding like this? Do you let me hold that by you? When you could sound like this.
All right.
get out. You can get out.
For what?
You're going to jail.
For what?
Get out of the car.
For what?
No.
I'm gonna get out of the. I will get out of the
I'm gonna
vehicle.
cut your
I will
seatbelt.
get out. Let me get out. Oh my God, this is absolutely ridiculous.
No, it's not. What's absolutely ridiculous is you threatening to punch one of my deputies in the face.
Cool.
When backup arrived, the scene took on an even more surreal quality. The woman, now being told she was under arrest for the threat, shifted into a state of mocking disbelief. She laughed at the officers, calling the situation ridiculous and absurd. Even as she was being led to the patrol car in handcuffs, her defiance didn't stop at the car door. She continued to hurl insults, questioning the deputies' manhood and their career choices, accusing them of being bored and just trying to meet a quota.
All right.
5 cops for one person? That is crazy. Oh my God. I'm walking just fine.
Well, I understand.
Just tell me what to do and I can do it. You don't need to touch me.
I had a hard time doing that before, so.
You guys gave me one direction to do and didn't even give me 0.2 seconds to get out of the car. So, yeah.
Hello? Anyone still on the phone? Nope. Okay. Keys. Wallet. What's your code so we can call your mom?
I think she's right there.
Okay. The black pickup truck?
Yeah. That's her boyfriend. Okay. Yes, please record, because they're already manhandling the out of it.
The tension expanded beyond the suspect as her boyfriend arrived on the scene in a black pickup truck. The interaction between him and the deputies highlighted a relatively new and controversial Florida law, the requirement for bystanders to stay at least 25 feet away from an active investigation after being warned. The boyfriend, skeptical and defensive, found himself on the receiving end of a final warning, a stark reminder of the legal boundaries that now define police interactions in the state.
All right, so you're going to have to stay 25 feet away according to new Florida law. Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's a new law.
That is not a new law.
That is a new law.
Let me see that. Where is that?
Look it up. Look it up. Now, if you want to take her vehicle, you can take her vehicle.
I want to know what is going on.
I'm getting arrested for threatening them, apparently.
I want to know the whole situation. That
she got stopped for traffic.
Okay.
Apparently,
in her neighborhood.
She's been
in her neighborhood. So you stop people in their neighborhood?
A neighborhood.
No, a neighborhood is her neighborhood. So don't say a neighborhood. This is her neighborhood.
Does it make you feel better if I say her neighborhood?
Go ahead.
Don't touch me. Anybody else can deal with me but you, bitch.
Let me try.
She was going to get cited. She didn't agree with the violation. She threatened to punch them.
What's your name?
What's my name?
Yeah. Identify yourself.
Deputy Mike Valenti.
Okay.
61652.
Okay. And you too?
Deputy Figicelli, 59060.
Okay.
And what's your name?
I don't even need to identify.
You're 25 feet away.
Okay, but I want to.
You're going to go to jail too. 25 feet away.
I'm well.
We're giving you a
at
lawful
25.
order to stay outside of this investigation, okay? This is your final warning. This is a new law. If you interfere with this investigation, you will go to jail.
All right.
You understand? You have been warned, as it is stated in the statute that is required.
A little power trip right now going, aren't we?
We're not them recording with our cell phones.
Yes, you are recording.
I didn't say.
Yes, you just said, I'm not the one recording.
With my cell phone.
That's you. Well, okay.
As the officers worked to verify the boyfriend's license so he could take the car, the woman's monologue from the back of the cruiser continued. She alternated between claiming she was manhandled and mocking the deputies for needing 5 cops for 1 girl. It was a disturbing display as someone who felt completely untouchable. Even while restrained, she even went as far as to suggest that the deputy was only enforcing the law because she was bored or power tripping.
Oh my God, you think you're so big and bad and above everything else. That's crazy. You think you're so cool because you're a police officer. Crazy. You're just nothing. Y'all ain't got nothing better to do with yourself. Because there's nobody, committing real crimes or anything. Girl, you're crazy. Oh my God, can't handle shit, huh? You can't handle nothing. Absolutely crazy.
In the final moments of the footage, the woman's bravado remained unbroken. She continued to taunt the officers, suggesting they should be out fighting real crime instead of harassing people in her neighborhood. It's a chilling look at how a routine traffic stop for a minor violation can escalate into a criminal charge of friending a public official, all fueled by a hot-headed moment of lost control. The video ends not with a resolution, but with the hollow echoes of her insults, a haunting example of how a bad day can become a life-changing disaster in the blink of an eye.
Hi, my name is Tami, and I would like to give you a few reasons why you should consider dating a young Asian lady. You can choose a potential spouse from Vietnam, the Philippines, Thailand, or Indonesia. The geography is boundless. Have you noticed that Asian women have become more and more popular? I mean that they are everywhere, in famous magazines, on Instagram as top bloggers, on the runways, and on billboards. More importantly, they are in men's heart. True, they are this popular because most of them have everything that an object of fascination is supposed to have: natural beauty,
In this video, you can see a home security recording from the middle of the night. The property looks still and silent. Initially, everything seems perfectly normal until a house cat walks into the frame. A dark, shadowy figure appears right behind the animal. It follows the pet with a quick motion that looks too deliberate to be a trick of the light. I feel terrible for this pet owner because I would never be able to relax in my house again. This is why I always keep a close eye on my own pets when they act strange at night. A TikTok user named